That's some music right there, I'm telling you. Good evening, everybody. That's some music right there. What's up? Sorry if I'm a little sniffly still. Still dealing with some sinus stuff. I think it's all like coming up this way now. But yeah, we're still going to keep going. Tomorrow, I want to share this link with you guys first. I'm going to be doing a show tomorrow. Here's the link. Um, you know that the first court hearing is sealed, and then the one in the afternoon uh, is open to the public. So, oh, thank you. Actually, I was looking for my other CJ hat because it's the same color as this, but I couldn't find it in time. We'll find it. I need to get me a blue one for real. But what's up, everybody? So I'm going to be doing a show. I'm starting it at 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Eastern, and we'll probably be going about. It'll probably be like a 7-hour stream. So from like, no, 7 to 8 hours tomorrow we'll be going. So it's going to be a daytime stream, 7 to 8 hours. And then after tomorrow's stream is over, probably around 6 o'clock, somewhere around there, Central, Eastern, we're going to do some games tomorrow night. So we're finally going to have a game night. We haven't had a game night in a long time, and we are due for a game night. So we're going to hang back tomorrow night and do some games. So good evening, everybody. What's up, Scarlett, Sherry K, number 4, ticket number 4. Thank you. Kib Kitty, what's up? Scarlett, Dre, Kelly Miller, ticket number 1. Oh, shit. Where's Kevin Kraft? He's usually number 1. What's up, Katrina? Caddy, number 8. Thank you, Caddy. Shout out to Caddy. Gave me a heads up about the documents this afternoon. Thank you, Caddy. Appreciate that. Sorry if I'm still all congested and everything. Good evening, Melissa. Thank you for hopping in. DS. Ticket 12. Ticket number 12. D. Marie, thank you for hopping in. Appreciate you. Consecutively. What's up, Scarlett? Deborah, what's up? Peaches in Georgia. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. It's the freeway. Did you hear about that new thing where the sub and the like is supposed to like flash at you if you didn't hit it or something? I don't know. It's just what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. What's up, Dana? How are you doing tonight, Tabby Cat? There's Crystal. What's up? Nice seeing you in TNT earlier. Shout out. Loved hopping in there and hanging in there. The music right here. Right here. This is where the music is. Right here. Shout out, Architect. Ticket number 20. Ticket number 20. Number 13. Definitely sub to Grizz. Ooh, we got something coming up soon. Grizz is working on another intro. Ooh, I can't wait. Thank you, Kib Kitty, for the gifted membership to On Cloud 9. And then all these cool banners and all that cool stuff in the beginning as well. Add a girl say. Yes, new docs. We got new docs. Got some breaking news. That's why I got this little blue thing going on behind me, because we're going to be going to some breaking news first. Then we're going to be going to the new documents. Then we're going to be going to the Banfield and the body cam. Thank you. I appreciate you. There it is tomorrow. If you want to hit the notification, it's already up. We'll be talking about the court hearing. any updates, and we're going to be doing fresh notes, old notes in that episode too, an extended version. So if you enjoy the fresh notes, old notes, extended version tomorrow. Can't wait. I love the fresh notes, old notes. What's up, Bread to Kill You All? How you doing, buddy? Lucky 13. Uh-oh, Deb, I thought somebody said they were 13. Ticket number 29, Tabby Cat. Thank you. Ticket number 30, Skittles. What's up, Skittles? Peaches 81. How you doing? Woo woo. Yes, game night tomorrow night. We're going to be doing an extended court hearing, updates and discussion. And then that'll be fresh notes, old notes also. And then we're going to be doing game night tomorrow night. So probably around the same time that I would usually do my true crime show is when or maybe somewhere around there is where we'll be doing the game night. So we're going to have a little bit of actual games, and we're going to have, we're going to do a whole complete choose your own adventure. The whole thing. Detective style. The Isle, I think it was called the Isle Hotel or something. Yes, it's a detective choose your own adventure game. It's going to be so cool. There's Kevin. What's up? Choose your own adventure. Oh, yes. And we're going to be playing. We're not going to be at the Hangout channel. We're not going to be over at the lounge either. We're going to be doing game night here. I'm excited. It's been a long time. Been busy as hell these last couple months, but we need a game night. Tomorrow's perfect. Extended fresh notes, old notes, court hearing, extended version. We'll get it all knocked out of the way. Game night. Who's crying about what, Kevin? There it is. Isle Tide Hotel. So if you want to look it up, go ahead. That's what we're going to be playing. And it's one of those choose your own adventure games that there's so many different endings that it could be. It's going to be so cool. Going to be so cool. All right. So we are going to get to the breaking news first. There's a few videos that we're going to check out. Then I'm going to go in to read the documents. And after that, we're going to be going into the body cam and Banfield stuff. So we'll go ahead and transition to the breaking news.
Tonight, a man is in jail in Union County accused of sexually assaulting a child at a soccer academy. Jorge Palma was arrested yesterday, charged with indecent liberties with a child. Monroe police say they started an investigation into a possible assault at the Union Soccer Academy this week. Palma is behind bars under a $100,000 bond. Police are asking anyone with information on what happened to call them at 704-282-4700.
Yeah, deputies say Frank Byers was arrested last night in El Reno at his brother's house after they secured a key piece of physical evidence linking him to Michaela's death. Was this a shock to you and your family?
It was. I would never.
StreamYard.
Late Tuesday night, Michaela Miave Byers' husband arrested for her murder. Family stood outside the Pottawatomie County Courthouse as Frank Byers was taken to jail.
He'll have to answer to God for this someday.
New court documents reveal authorities believe Frank shot his wife twice in the head because he wanted to establish a relationship with another woman. On September 15th, Byers told police Michaela went on a date and never came back. 4 days later, her body was found wrapped in carpet, stashed in a culvert.
And I think that we just found her.
Inside the arrest warrant, authorities say Frank removed the SIM card from Michaela's phone and placed it into another phone to begin a fake conversation between the two to create a fictitious story. While deputies say Frank was on their radar, they were waiting for one key piece of evidence.
We did get confirmation on that there was her blood on a pair of his boots that we had.
Investigators also discovered .22 caliber shell casings, blood, and broken glass inside Michaela's home. Outside the couple's shared property, deputies discovered a receipt for a mop, bleach, and ammonia.
The biggest challenge is always time that we face waiting on things we need to come back when we have to submit our evidence.
Now, Frank was arrested for first-degree murder, removal of a dead body, and desecration of a corpse. He's currently being held here at the Pottawatomie County Jail.
Well, guys, Haley Silas's body was found over 400 miles away from Oklahoma City. Now, it's unclear how or why she was on that barge, but her friends and family are desperate for answers.
The scenario doesn't make sense to me. I think there might be more to it.
In my 22 years of working for the sheriff's office, I don't think there's been an investigation of a body on a barge. So that's extremely unusual for us.
October 21st, Shelby County Sheriff's Office in Tennessee were called to investigate a death on the Mississippi River where a woman's body was found. That woman would later be identified as 22-year-old Haley Silas from Oklahoma. Today, we uncovered Silas pled guilty to an Arkansas judge days before her body was found on a misdemeanor charge for communicating false alarm to police. Monday afternoon, investigators in Tennessee held a press conference on their discovery of her body.
The barge departed from Memphis on Friday night shortly after 11 p.m. The woman was found by crew members during a routine inspection of the vessel around 7 a.m. Saturday morning while they were traveling upriver.
I don't know. I was kind of stunned, I guess. I just didn't necessarily want to believe it. She's 22 years old. She was just starting life, and it just kind of flipped so quickly. I just kind of had to take a moment to take it all in.
Haley's mother telling KOCO in a statement, quote, Haley was such a beautiful and loving soul who is loved and will be missed terribly by everyone who knew her. Investigators say they don't know how Silas got on the barge and that it wasn't carrying anything. They also say she wasn't a crew member.
And that breaking news out of East Point, where the body of a missing woman has possibly been found. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for 7 Action News at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Mike Duffy. Samantha Ginther was last seen in June. Today, officers locating what they believe to be her body in a storm drain near her last known address.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's get right to 7 Action News reporter Ruta Ulsanaida. She is live in East Point with the very latest for us. Ruta?
This is all crazy. What the hell is this?
Yeah, good evening, you guys. Just a heartbreaking situation here in this East Point community. We just spoke to some neighbors who say police have been on these streets since about 11 a.m. this morning, just finally starting to roll out. But a lot of moving parts here, and the investigation is continuing today. What we do know is that 47-year-old Samantha Ginther was last reporting June 18th. East Point police say that with the MSP Crime Lab, they did execute a search warrant on her last known address here in this Aaron Park community housing area near Hayes and Stevens today. Then 2 people were taken into custody at the time, and this has now turned from a missing persons case to a homicide case. Upon further receiving more information, a body was found near her residence in a storm drain today. And those neighbors we talked to say they are absolutely shocked by what they are hearing.
I don't know how
barge storm drain.
It's going to be a worry to me. The wonder is who's next. What's going to happen next? Am I going to wake up to something else like this?
It's something you don't think of waking up to, and it was a surprise today.
And we did reach out to the family of Samantha. They say they do not want to talk to us at this time, say they are sticking together right now. Absolutely understandable after what has happened here today. Now, this is a developing situation, and we will make sure to bring you updates as soon as we get them. For now, reporting live in East Point, Ruta Ulsanaida, 7 Action News.
Certainly has to be a shock for a lot of people. Thank you so much, Ruta, for the live report.
And then this will get into other things that we'll be doing in another episode here coming up soon. So let me go ahead and get switched to the documents here. All right, give me 1 second. Freaking crazy. Freaking crazy. I don't get it. All right, so we got 6 documents. 3 of them are media requests. They're going to say the same thing: granted, denied, granted. But I'll go ahead and let you know who it is. These 3 are from the 24th. Motion to temp seal. Here is the link for this one, so you can have it for yourself. Give me 1 second. Oh shit, I gotta flip my camera around too. Okay. All right. So the first one, these are from the 24th, these first 3. Motion to temporarily seal Exhibits 1 and 2 of the state's response to defendants' 8th and 9th supplemental requests for discovery. Remember, those had to do with Exhibit G and H. The state of Idaho, by and through Latah County Prosecuting Attorney, respectfully moves the court, pursuant to Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32G1 and Idaho Code 74-124, for a temporary order sealing Exhibits 1 and 2 attached to the state's response to defendants' 8th and 9th supplemental requests for discovery hereon, because release or disclosure would, and we've continued to hear this, 1, interfere with enforcement proceedings, 2, deprive a person of a right to a fair trial or impartial adjudication, and also constitute an unwarranted invasion of personal privacy. Motion to temporary seal Exhibits 3 also disclose the identity of a confidential source and or forward disclose investigative techniques and procedures. Why is there 2 twos? There's 2 twos. There's 2 twos. Okay. The state seeks this protection pending a hearing on the matter. Wherefore, the state respectfully prays that the court seal from public disclosure Exhibits 1 and 2 attached to the state's response to defendants' 8th and 9th supplemental requests for discovery, hereon under the provisions of the Idaho Court Administrative Rule, dated this 24th day of October 2023. Ashley Jennings, Senior Deputy Prosecuting Attorney. So that would be the first one. What's up, Robin Renee? Thank you for hopping in. Appreciate you. Get back to chat real quick. I'll be having a couple monitors set up here coming soon, so I'll be able to read your chat while I do the document reads. Right now, I'm just working and have been off one screen, so I apologize if I go back and forth. Been enjoying. Thank you. Appreciate that. Seriously, check out Unravel and I put in some work a few months ago. We really dug into the grub truck with these episodes. So if you want to click the link on this and save it to your playlist, start from episode 1. You will not... I would love to be able to put that one together as a whole, honestly. Maybe I might do that one time. It's a lot, though. It's long. I'd have to put it in different parts. Probably 2 episodes for one video, because it would literally probably get close to maxing it out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. Thank you, though. I appreciate the kind words. All right. So the second document is the state's response. I'll zoom it in this time so it's a little easier for you guys. State's response to defendant's 8th and 9th supplemental requests for discovery. To the defendant, Brian Christopher Koberger, and counsel Ann Taylor, comes now the state of Idaho, by and through the Latah County Prosecuting Attorney, and submits the attached Exhibit 1 in response to defendant's 8th supplemental request for discovery, filed on October 12th, 2023. and Exhibit 2 in response to defendant's 9th supplemental request for discovery filed on October 18th, 2023. The state incorporates the following responses as fully set forth at this point. State's response to request for discovery filed on January 23rd, 2023. State's response to defendant's first supplemental request for discovery filed on February 21st, 2023. Wow, we're going way back, huh? February. State's response to defendant's second supplemental request for discovery filed on March 29th, 2023. The state, this is some smart ass shit, right? State's response to defendant's third supplemental request for discovery filed on May 12th, 2023. State's response to defendant's motion to compel discovery filed on May 12th, 2023. State's supplemental response to defendant's first, second, and third supplemental request for discovery filed on June 8th, 2023. State's response to defendant's fourth supplemental request for discovery filed on June 16th, 2023. State's supplemental response to defendant's fourth supplemental request for discovery filed on June 29th, 2023. State's response to defendant's second motion to compel discovery filed on June 29th, 2023. State's response to defendant's third motion to compel discovery filed on July 5th, 2023. State supplemental response to defendant's second supplemental request for discovery and defendant's motion to compel discovery filed on July 12th, and we're in July. Just sorry, everybody. Sorry. State supplemental. It's not me, though. It's them. Like, if they would have responded to this shit, all of this shit, I wouldn't be having to read this damn thing. It's them, okay? Focus it on them. I'm just the document reader. State supplemental response to defendant's second motion to compel discovery filed on July 12th, 2023. State's response to defendant's fifth and sixth supplemental request for discovery filed on July 25th, 2023. State supplemental response to defendant's third motion to compel discovery filed on August 30th, 2023. State's response to defendant's seventh supplemental request for discovery filed on September 6th, 2023. The state has and will continue to provide discovery in accordance with Idaho Criminal Rule 16 and applicable law, and reserves any and all obligations thereunder. Dated the 24th day of October 2023, from Ashley Jennings, Superior Deputy Prosecuting Attorney. It's them. It's not me, okay? I'm just a document reader. Oh, for sure. And he's going to be rich, too. He'll be rich as hell. You guys got to check out that Mark Carver case. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me make a poll out of it. That's a good question, Robin. Give me 1 second. Let's make a poll out of it real quick. All right. And then the next document, let's go ahead and switch this. Let me throw up a poll real quick. Hold on. And did you guys know that, I didn't know if you guys knew this or not, but did you guys know that the Chronicles of Olivia, the Goncalves family interviews out now? Remember that one from a long time ago? Grub truck footage on Twitter so I can retweet. It should be on there, Detective. My playlist? I'll put my playlist on there, Detective. Did someone... Yeah, 6 documents. I appreciate the kind words, Mark and Betty, for real. 1 a.m. Well, we'll be live no matter what. Usually, like, this is what sucks is it's not going to be televised. Usually we were always having that shit right away. But I'm loving this fresh notes, old notes stuff that we're getting into. And I'm like, you know what? Even though it's not, I'm loving this fresh notes, old notes stuff. I really am. I mean, we're just a tad bit through in 2 episodes of it, and we're noticing so much stuff. So much. All right, let me make a poll real quick. That's a good question. Especially with the court hearing coming up tomorrow. Shout out Robin. I do too. For real. And we just kind of stumbled across it last week and a half ago. Okay, let me see here. Let's start a poll. Do you think BK will be released, dismissed? There we go. There's the poll. We'll leave it up for a while here. Thank you again. There we go. I'll give it a little while to simmer, and we'll see what it says a little bit later. All right, the last document, order attempt to seal. And then we're gonna get in. Let me know though. Did you guys know that the interview is open? It's like available again? And it was such a good interview. I was like, damn, I wouldn't mind watching it tonight if you guys want to watch it first before we go into some other body cam stuff. What's up, Devo? Thank you for hopping in. Shout out Akron. Dun, 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 dun. Temporary order sealing exhibits 1 and 2 of the state's response to defendants' 8th and 9th supplemental request for discovery. I'm so glad this isn't 5 pages, you guys, because I don't have to read everything that they didn't respond to, you know? Based upon the motion to temporary seal exhibits 1 and 2 of the state's response to defendants' 8th and 9th supplemental requests for discovery filed hereon, the court does hereby confirm in order that exhibits 1 and 2 are confidential, exempt from disclosure, and are sealed. We already knew this. Pursuant to Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32G1 for the reasons stated in the said motion and until a hearing can be held on that matter, so ordered this 24th day of October 2023. Judge. And there you go. The other one is a order media request. You know, it's granted, denied, granted, from CREM, which is a local TV station, Lewiston Tribune, and Points Authorities podcast. How do you apply for that stuff? I need to figure that out here soon. I will definitely need to know because I will frickin' live stream. That's it? There's only one vote? What? Simmer. Yes, simmer. You gotta let it simmer for a while. I don't think it's gonna happen, but you never know. It'd be interesting to hear what everybody thinks. All right. So what do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to watch that family interview tonight before we get into some of the body cam stuff? Or do you want to watch the family interview tomorrow when we go old notes, fresh notes during the court hearing? Let me know if you want to watch it tonight or tomorrow. 29 votes. Let me see what it is. Also, let me know in chat. Let me know if you want to watch that tonight or tomorrow. Let's see what the votes are so far. I'm not ending it. 71%, 72% say no. 32 votes. Tonight, tomorrow. Body cam stuff. All right. Tomorrow. I kind of want to watch it tonight. Tomorrow. It's like it's 50-50 now. No, the poll's open. I'm leaving that poll open, but I'm asking you guys in chat. I'm asking you guys in chat what you want next. I'm double voting. What's up, Nicola? The vote that's up at the top of the chat, that is if you think the trial is, if BK is going to be released or dismissed. And then I'm asking people to vote in chat if they want to watch the Goncalves family interview that Chronicles of Olivia did way back a long time ago. It was like, what, 5 months ago? Something like that. So I want to know if you guys want to watch it tonight or if you guys want to watch it tomorrow. I just want to see what you guys want. Because I'm whatever. I'm whatever you guys want. What's up, Tiffany? Thank you for hopping in. Appreciate you. It's been edited. That's fine. Tonight, tomorrow. How long is it? Let me see. Because I was doing some prep earlier and it popped up on one of the old lists. I was like, oh, really? Let me see. It is 47 minutes. 47 minutes from 9 months ago. 47:58 from 9 months ago. So it was here. I'll put the here. Hold on. Let me give you the exact date. There you go. It was recorded uploaded January 13th, 2023, and it's 47 minutes and 58 seconds. What's up, Janice? Thank you for hopping in. That's a good idea, Devo. That's a good idea because it was gone for a long time. We probably should. Let me get to it now. Because if we start watching it now by 8 Central, 9 Eastern, we'll still be good. And we have a little bit more Banfield stuff to talk about too. But it is true that Devo makes a very good point. What happens if it goes away? Yes. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me get shout out to Chronicles of Olivia. We've been watching her channel ever since I started talking true crime. She does a great job too. So let me get that ready. She does a great job too. Here, let's share this tab real quick. Thank you everybody for hopping in. Appreciate you. Here is the tab real quick. Chronicles of Olivia. If you're not sub, please sub and show some love on this video that we're going to watch. I am going to share the link with you guys, so you have the link as well. Please go hit the like on it if you haven't yet already, and also leave some hearts and some peace signs. And if you feel like telling her we were hanging out supporting on CJ, go ahead and click that link. Definitely show some love. 20,000 likes. I already liked it a long time ago. Amazing work. Here we go. I'm going to turn the music down here real quick too. Hold on. Oop. All right, there we go.
Something bad happened to Kaylee. Something bad happened. And, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? And she's like, I think Kaylee's dead.
She had an interaction with a date.
Don't let it die.
You need to be vocal. We went and investigated Adam. Adam is about her.
Half of it, like they almost like became to us like two halves of a whole.
What's up, Crystal? Amazing work. Amazing work.
On December 28th, 2 days before the suspect was arrested, my friend Bullhorn Betty and I had the honor of meeting the Goncalves family. If you guys know anything, please contact the tip line. It's important. If you live in the area and have it. They welcomed us into their home.
I hate having her the date of death on there. It was a scavenger hunt. Getting frustrated, don't blow a gasket, head to the link to get your Easter basket. She did a, yeah.
It must have been that year that they dressed up in the bunny costume. It was Jack dressed up in that bunny costume. Aww. When my kids came over.
And Kaylee hopped off down the street in the bunny suit.
Yeah.
And she still had her dark hair. Yeah, the years just fly by, and but that's our only family photo.
Their daughter, Kaylee Goncalves, followed me on TikTok and shared my videos with her family, which is why her father, Steve, reached out to me a few weeks ago. This interview is bittersweet and personal. Well, thank you for having us. We're very honored, and we're very sorry for your loss, and we want to help in any way we can. And I think telling Kaylee's story is profound, and I think that's really important.
Giving her humanity.
And humanizing her story. What was Kaylee like as a child?
She was very rambunctious. She just was full of energy. She was the middle of 5, so 2 older, 2 younger. Olivia was the oldest, and just was constantly trying to keep up with the olders, and then be a little boss hog for the littles. She was the fair police. Nothing got past her. If there was, a $200 pair of shoes that she wanted during when school started, and we had school clothes to buy for everybody, it was like, Kaylee, you got to bring that down a little. We have 5 kids to buy for. You might as well just buy them for her now, because she would just nab you to death until you just buy them, And the other kids would be like, wow, we'd be like, she was a total hustler though. Yeah, she was.
Where she would be like, Mom, can I, mop the floors for $5?
Mm-hmm.
And Mom would be like, yeah, that's a super good deal. And so she kind of got this name about herself growing up, where she was the cleaner, right? So Kaylee was the one who was like she was known, where she knew that if she, before Mom and Dad got home or whatever, did the dishes, wiped the counters, swept the floors, and mopped, Dad was gonna give her 20, and she was gonna beat you to do it. And I got to the point where my brother and I didn't even try anymore, because we were just like, Kaylee's gonna do it anyway. Because she was just a hustler like that. Because even before, now she was into, obviously her Range Rover, she's really proud of that. her designer clothes, stuff like that. That was just who she was. But it started with Claire's, with hair accessories, and then it was Bath and Body Works, and she was collecting the scents and the little hand sanitizers.
Everything was a competition.
Everything was a competition,
Steven
and it was.
woke up after playing a video game with her, and she was still playing it. He was like, "I'm in trouble." This girl wants it more than me. She wants it more than me.
It seems like she was starting from a very young age.
She had 2 older brothers. Bryce was just right there.
Her cousin grew up very
So
close
she
with
thought
her.
she could be as fast as them. She could ride the
Always
bike.
wanted to race them, wanted to ride the motorcycle.
We would go out on the lake. The boat, my parents had a boat. We would go out, and my dad would say, $5, whoever is the first in the water for the season, right? And it was cold. It was about 59 degrees by the time we were going out. Kaylee was.
It was $5.
It was $5. It was $5, and she would do it. She would do it for $5. She jumps into that water. She instantly pops her head up and is bawling. Just bawling. It was that cold. But she couldn't let the boys beat her. She couldn't let me beat her. No. She couldn't let anyone beat her. She was like, it was definitely the financial motivation, as well as her just being like, I'm going to be number one. Yeah. There was this big pole in the lake, and you could kind of climb up it. It was a little rickety, but you could get to the top and you could jump in. I was always too scared to do it. Kaylee was like, she watched Steven do it, the boy. I was like, I'm going to do that. And I was like, Kaylee, don't do it, Kaylee, no. And she was like, I'm not scared, Olivia. You're just being a baby for being scared. And she climbed her ass up that pole, and she jumped off. And it was tall.
We
have pictures of her.
He was ripping. He's like, "Don't look down," because I told the kids,
Don't
if you
look down, Kaylee.
You'll do a face plant.
It was tall. Yeah. So it was my idea. My mom she had Autumn, who's the 4th baby, and she was pregnant with Aubrey, who was the 5th. So she was upstairs taking a nap. And my dad was still at work, and I was kind of just watching. My little siblings, we were all just hanging out. I had an idea that we had a double garage, and it was an automatic door. And I don't know why, but I got this idea that we should have a competition and see who could hold on to the garage door as it went up the longest, and then you would drop. And so we were doing this. We had a whole setup. At one point, my brother was like, "We need a washcloth. This is cutting my hands." Right? That should have been our notion to stop. Right? I should have known better. But we all got so competitive about it. So by the time my dad, drove up home,
and the kids were hanging on the garage.
That's been going nonstop for 40 minutes.
Up and down.
Oh my gosh. Just the little garage engine that could. And this garage door, if it had come crashing down, it was 250 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Would have crushed us.
Scared me.
It was the only time ever growing up that Dad actually got mad at us, and we were in trouble. And I remember Steven and I we were upset. We were crying. We had disappointed our dad, right? We were so sad. And Kaylee just kind of wasn't. We thought that was all weird until my dad kind of realized him just being disappointed wasn't enough for Kaylee. A total little prankster, but we were all pranksters. Mom and I would prank the shit out of Kaylee all the time. We
That's
just
the way
didn't
I raised you
know.
guys. I raised you guys to be interesting like that.
She really didn't do any major sports or anything like that. Yeah. She definitely. We all did baseball. She was on the same team as my brother actually, but she didn't do that for long. She wanted to do soccer for a minute, Dad, but I think she just did a soccer camp for summer, and she was out of that. She never did the cheerleading.
Softball for a year.
Yeah, she did the team.
Well, I was wondering because you guys were talking about competitiveness, and I'm thinking,
she was born that way.
Yeah.
Honestly, she really just. I remember the day Kaylee was born. I'm about 5 years older than Kaylee, so I must have been about 4 or 5. But I remember the day Kaylee was born.
Best part about the story is when kid actually gets in trouble.
Yes. So Kaylee's clear.
Here's the truth.
Oh wow, look at that.
Oh yeah, we got spanked. I
You're
just want
always
to
gonna
say
be
that.
I literally see my kids dying
What's
in
up,
front of my
Brandy?
eyes, and I ran up and I was like,
What are you guys doing?
and they're like, "It's so fun, Dad. We're gonna do it again." I'm like, "No, you're not. You just basically give me the worst dad award ever." My kids are gonna die from my rivalry.
So we go inside.
They get whippings.
Dad's mad. Steven and I are just blubbering messes. Our dad's mad at us.
Stone-faced.
And Kaylee's just stone-faced. And we're like, this is weird,
Cry,
right?
Kaylee, cry.
My dad notices, and he clicks. Something clicks with him. He goes, by the way, Kaylee, I'm not taking you to Claire's tonight. and she dropped to her knees and started bawling because for her, give her any corporal punishment. Tell her you're disappointed in her. Tell her, that was a bad move, but don't take Claire's at the time. It
Not
was
going to
all
the
about
mall.
Claire's.
Not taking you to the mall.
Yeah, she wasn't going to the mall, and that was it. She had already planned her next outfit. The next day around that Claire's accessory she was gonna get. I don't know, but
She wound up getting to go.
she did. She actually did.
She did a lot of chores.
She did a lot of chores. I was like, all right, let me finagle my way out of this. What if I ironed your shirt? Yeah. I'm so sorry. Can I wash the boat?
Do you remember the first time the girls met? I know you said they met each other in the 6th grade, but do you guys remember that event when they met? Like when she came home and first told you about her friend
These girls
Maddie?
definitely know that. Talk about how conservative and how.
Maddie's, we had been hearing about Maddie, her new friend that she'd met at her new junior high and whatnot, which was at the school they met at. And, but for Maddie to come over, her mom wanted the whole phone call and whatnot, and I wanted to meet them in person and all that. And I was very much so a little bit like, I don't know, I was just very sure you can go. Maybe a quick phone call, but I mean, she wanted to, her mom wanted to meet us, her dad wanted to meet us in person and be like, come into the house. And we were like, she wants to come into the house?
Scotty and
Karen. Yeah, they want to have a sit down just for their kid to come over for a couple hours. She's not even staying the night, It took forever. She used to come over after school all the time, but every time they would walk her in, they would say, how's it going? Hello, this, that. Her dad would, or they would call, and then it finally started getting to the calls. I'm like, well, we're getting a little better. Now we just get the call, like somebody's going to be there the whole time, right? Maybe 3 hours, but you're going to be there.
Only baby.
And Maddie just fit right in with us. I mean, she just absolutely
Yeah, that was it. School started in August, and it was September that Maddie started coming over, and that was it. That was
like spend the night
all the time, and then it got to where she just would spend the night. Kaylee would spend the night over there. I mean, it didn't matter if it was a school night or not. The thing with Maddie was she was kind to the little sisters. We had 2, and they loved her so much, and she would play with them. Like not a lot of your older friends, because they were pretty, they were they're brats, but she really embraced Autumn and Aubrey and Olivia. Olivia loved her, and she just and Steven. She was kind to Steven, and
the family.
Yeah, they were totally like yin and yang, where they were such opposites of each other, but it just worked so well together. Where it was like half of the they almost became to us like 2 halves to a whole. Where it was like, yes, Kaylee is my sister and Maddie is my sister, but it's Kaylee and Maddie. As strange as that sounds, it was,
one had no patience, the other one had all the patience.
And they would balance each other in just
every vacation we went on,
beautiful way.
We wound up being Karen wound up letting us take Maddie out of the country. We took her to Belize, and we took her to Cozumel, and we went to Grand Cayman Islands, and Maddie was with us. Karen took the girls to Hawaii on a girls trip.
Swears that was the best trip she's ever been on.
We're like, we did it here, and here, but
she said Hawaii and Maui specifically.
Stateside, so you're like, what? That's
Yeah,
disappointing, but you're right.
Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate you.
They just
That's some of the best memories of her life.
They had other friends, they were in a group of bigger friends, but it was always Kaylee and Maddie,
Yeah.
Always. There was a couple other friends.
It was this ebb and flow, where it was they were always together, but there was always room for others because they really were sisters. It wasn't this competition between them of this best friend slot. That was always a given, and they really were just kind of combined, I guess, in a way that was more complex than a friendship.
Yeah.
So it was you'll see a lot of pictures of Kaylee with other people or Maddie, or I've seen a lot of people say, well, how close could they be if they were in different sororities? And that was just
hard. That was hard for them.
It was.
Because they both went and rushed to get in the AV house, and Kaylee got in and Maddie did not, and she wound up in firefight. But it was really good.
It was so good for them
because they.
And I'm going to pause it real quick just to respect the content creator. Shout out Chronicles of Olivia. Thank you again for your hard work and all your efforts, not only for the family, but with this whole case. And yeah, it's definitely sad for sure. But at the same time, it is it's nice to be able to hear the fun stories and stuff too, because a lot of the times as we're talking about these cases, we're referring to the victims, unfortunately, with the crime or the state. And we don't get to hear a lot of these stories because we didn't personally know them. And so it's kind of nice. I understand it's sad, but it's kind of nice to be able to hear these stories, because you're talking about them, or Chronicles of Olivia and the families talking about Kaylee and Maddie, but you get to hear some good stories too. It's not just all of the bad stuff. So yes, it is sad, but at the same time, you get to hear the beautiful side as well. So shout out Chronicles of Olivia. Thank you so much for your hard work and your efforts. Thank you, everybody, for hopping in. I appreciate you. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. We're 13 minutes into it, and we'll be spending another 35 minutes or so on it. So thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Really did live their lives a little bit different, separately for those couple of years. Even though the houses were right around the corner for each other, there was a lot of devotion that you had to put within those houses, within those groups of girls and stuff. So Maddie made a ton of new friends, and Kaylee made a ton of new friends, and I mean they still spoke a lot, though, but
came home every time together. They would drive back together, like
Vacations were
like
together.
What's up, Osna?
sisters, where it's like
Mexico and stuff. And
how it was,
and then Kaylee moved in with Maddie. They moved out of their sorority houses a couple of years ago. And Maddie moved into that house, and Kaylee had moved into an apartment. And then last June, Kaylee moved in to Maddie's house.
A lot of people, I think, don't realize, but Kaylee was just about to graduate.
Kaylee did graduate.
She did. She was fully graduated.
It wasn't a phase.
She was done.
She was done.
Yeah, it wasn't given posthumously. She earned that.
Yeah.
She earned it, and that was really frustrating for us.
Yeah.
It's almost like she knew she only had a certain amount of time on this planet, and she was rushing through it as fast as she could.
She always did summer school and whatnot. So she just told me, a few weeks before that she was going to be graduating in December. And she goes, I don't know who I want, though. I just want to just get my degree. And I'm like, well, let us know, because we'll
But
be
I was
down
proud of her to be like, I don't need the attention.
And then
I've earned it, and I've earned it fast, and I'm ready to just move on with my life. And I was like, that's how we look at life. It's not about the celebration. It's about just moving on to the next step. And gosh, it would have been just an amazing citizen for our country. The person that would show everyone, like, you can come from anything and do anything and just work hard and be a success. And that's such a good positive message, and we lost that.
Oh, thank you, Phantom, for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you.
Range Rover, and you guys must have been so proud.
Tabby Cat.
I wanted her to buy something more reliable.
Yeah, I wanted.
As a dad, I was like, no.
She was looking at a few
Thank you,
cars,
Phantom.
and I said, get the Mercedes, get the Subaru. I said, but do not get that Range Rover, Kaylee. And she goes, I know, Olivia, but the name. And I said, it's going to be nothing but problems for you. I tried to talk her out of it. And then my mom actually called me, and she goes, she bought the Range Rover. And I was like, well, I'm proud of her. I was like, I'm just going to bite my tongue. I'm proud of her.
She did it all on her own. And she called Maddie. It was really
What's
funny.
up, Nevada?
I just called Maddie, and she had been like back and forth for days. This one. She goes, I asked Maddie, so which one do you think I bought? And Maddie said, I don't know, Kaylee. Probably a Ferrari at this point. And she goes, so she has no idea. And she goes, I'm just going to surprise her. She's like, she's really going to, and I'm like, she's going to be surprised. It's nice. It is really nice.
But she worked for everything, right? Like she had her full-time job. It was technically an internship, but it was paid. I helped her negotiate a better rate on it. And then,
always been a family.
She got a full-time position with that company as well. I helped her write her email to her boss. I still have it in my notes on my phone. Where I said, hi, Jeremiah. I said, hey, Jeremiah, I'd like to talk to you. But it's so proud of her. And like, she always did that. Like, even as a kid, even with Claire, she always worked for it. She never had anything handed to her, anything like that. She always had the support of her family. But
she called me and was like, Dad, do I sound stupid in this proposal? I'm like, well, pitch it to me, girl. And she's like, all right, so I'm gonna say this and this and this, and then we just go back and forth, and I'd be like, all right, this is how you say this acronym, this is how you say this. She literally looked for everyone to help her because she was smart enough to understand that my hustle will work, but I still need the knowledge of all the people around me. And I think that was the part that made me think, like, I never worried about her.
Never.
I always just like, dude, she's
I never worried about Kaylee. No. She called us frequently. We called her. When we called, she answered. She kept in touch with us. She made, good choices, positive choices.
And she learned from the mistakes of others. Like I was the older sister and like made a lot of mistakes, and Kaylee was the one to really like sit down and be like, okay, you messed up here, Olivia. Like, can you tell me why you did this? Like, walk me through your thought process so I don't make that same mistake. And it just made me really proud of her to like not have her only like learn from her own mistakes and like make her own good decisions, but to be able to like look at those around her and with love in her heart too, to be like, help me be better, because she knew that's what we all wanted.
And you guys touched on something. I think we touched on it earlier at lunch. Going back to the night of the 12th, November 12th, and I think you hit, and I didn't even think of that perspective, but they did everything right.
Yeah.
And we discussed that. The buddy system. Explain all the things that they did.
Yeah, they Ubered out together. They only went to known locations that they had been before.
Private driver.
They had a private driver. I apologize. It was a private driver that they had actually used before, so they knew him. They had a relationship with this individual.
Knew him as a family member, and he really helped us.
Yeah.
He turned us on to food truck stuff.
Yeah.
He's a great person.
Good people. And then we only went to like known locations with known people, traveled only together on well-lit, known streets to get food before taking a private ride from the same individual who would pick them up home to go eat after a night of drinking, being 21, Ubering out, Ubering home with your friend.
They were totally chaperoned.
And then going to bed.
They were doing everything the way that you tell your kid to go.
Yeah.
Don't be two girls all by yourself. Have somebody there that can walk with you. Everything was perfect. Everything was good.
Yeah.
All the way up to where they went to bed and went to sleep.
Yeah.
And that I can't control. As a family, we can't control what happens when you go to sleep.
Yeah.
When you go to sleep, that's us as society. We have to determine, are we going to let these people be out here that can do whatever they did, sneak into a house, whatever it was? Are we going to allow that to be normal? Are we going to allow that to be okay?
Yeah.
Because we all go to bed at night.
Yeah, what was their flaw? They didn't have a nanny cam in their home. What could they have done to be more
They
safe?
didn't lock the door perfectly.
Yeah. It's Moscow, Idaho. It's safe.
I wonder about the door because Kaylee was a door locker. She would come
totally
here,
was.
and so I question that all the time. Like, why wasn't the door locked? Why wasn't the door locked?
But that's not what society's built on. You don't say, oh, well, you didn't lock the door, so you deserve to die in your sleep.
Right. Yeah.
You don't do that. We have to make a society where these people show red flags, we identify them, we address them, and then we remove them from hurting other people.
The phone call the Goncalves family received on November 13th is one they'll never forget.
We were, it was Sunday around
We were watching football.
1-ish, and we were watching
every
football.
family, or a lot of families on Sunday.
And
We were
then
watching
our
football.
son was here. Everybody was home except for she was down at her home
We
in LA.
gather on
And
Sunday.
my niece called me and she was freaking out. And she said, Christy, have you talked to Kaylee? And I said, yesterday, like last night. And she said, something bad happened to Kaylee. Something bad happened. And she was just bawling. And I said, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? And she said, I think Kaylee's dead. And I said, well, what do you mean? And she
All
said,
our stomachs just dropped.
She
We were
said
just like,
there was somebody just called me and they live down there. She said there was a party last night and somebody went in and shot the party up and Kaylee was shot. I was like, what? And I just threw my phone. I started screaming. I started telling everybody to call Olivia and to get all of her roommates
Call
on the
Natty.
phone. And I started calling Maddie, and Maddie wouldn't answer, and Maddie wouldn't answer. I said, no, this can't be, because Maddie would have called me. If Kaylee was shot last night at a party, Maddie or Jack would have called me. Like, no, and I kept calling. I called Kaylee and went straight to voicemail. I was calling Maddie, I was calling Jack, it was ringing. I turned on the TV, and I saw it said 1122 King Road. Like, Kaylee's car was in the driveway, Maddie's car was in the driveway. I was seeing an unconscious person. And we're saying, okay, maybe this isn't, like, maybe something happened. So Steve starts calling the police. Steven, our son, started calling the hospital, and he started calling the PD and saying, my name is Goncalves, and we heard that my daughter Kaylee Goncalves was killed in an accident. And they said, we can't give you any more information, we'll call you back. Well, we just, next thing you know, some more phones started ringing. Our daughters that came running down, 16 and 17 years old, came and said, Mom, somebody just called me and said that Kaylee's dead. And we're like, what? Like, who was it? She's like, I don't know. It's somebody that's they're there, and Kaylee's dead. And we were like, oh my God, like, this can't be, and it's just very, very, very dramatic.
These protocols have to be updated.
Yeah.
These protocols of somebody showing up at your door 10 hours later is ridiculous.
Because we had hours of panic before the sheriff
It was
department.
terrible.
It was about 4:30.
So you guys, they never called you. You guys found this out from family members that were in the area, and you guys didn't get notified. You actually reached out to them, and you guys still didn't get notified for hours.
He wound up calling them twice.
And I get it. Their protocols are all about, like, maybe they'll commit suicide or something, but they have to be updated because social media moves so fast, so quick. That's why we are using social media. I'm not using the most common channels.
We called Karen, and we asked Karen if she had heard anything, and she goes, yes, I was told that I need to get down here, but there was an accident.
Was good. We
thought maybe Maddie was the unconscious person, and we had already been told by several people, like 100% Kaylee was dead. And we were like, they're bawling, and they're like,
Maddie was just unconscious.
And then we're like, but Karen got a call saying to come down there. We haven't got a call.
That was a good sign.
So we're like, oh.
And I kept giving them hope. I kept saying, if it happened last night, you guys would know by now. I kept giving them hope. I said, they just released an article that the roommates are being questioned right now. They probably took their phones, Mom. Like, I just kept giving them hope because I live in Los Angeles. It wasn't here. And that's all I could do. But, like, it's just this feeling in your gut that, like, I sat with.
I knew as soon as my niece, as soon as Sabrina called, I knew that it was real.
Yeah.
And she was freaking out.
And then cops showed up around 4:30.
Yeah, the sheriff came around 4:30, and then he told us that there were 4 victims, and we said, "Was one of them Maddie Morgan?" And he told us yes. Then we realized that it was Kaylee and Maddie.
We still knew she was going down there.
Yeah, Karen was still on her way, and
she still driving.
And then she got down there, and she got there about 20 minutes after we got the news. And
another person who was broken by the news of Kaylee's passing is her ex-boyfriend, Jack Decor. Not only has his life been picked apart, he's been scrutinized by social media.
In your heart, he had nothing to do with this.
More than, even just logically. I think that a lot of people assume we're blinded by this individual, but contrary to that, we're very capable of removing our emotions for Jack, which is absolute love, and just looking at the situation logically, looking at this individual in front of us, looking at a pattern of behaviors of him that we've seen throughout 5-6 years. So emotionally, and in our hearts and in our heads and in every sense of the word, it's
Physics.
not.
We did a job
thorough
vetting him.
I asked him to, did he have any scratches? Did he have any bruises? He came here immediately after it happened.
We can prove that he had none.
No, I checked his shoes.
Yeah.
I checked
That
his
was
car.
cut.
I checked his hands.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause right there. You can tell there was a cut there. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it. 26:33 is where I'm at. Probably around 26:30 is where it cuts. So we'll go ahead and rewind it there, and you'll see what I mean as we get back into it. We're about halfway through right now. When it comes to the time that the call was in, again, here is the link. We will go back to that part. It's about 20 minutes into it. There is the link for this episode. Again, thank you, Chronicles of Olivia. No, it just there is. It would be very hard to, unless you had the old, which we did watch it way back then. So I bet you the full version would be on our show. When was this? So probably January 14th, around there somewhere. January 14th, we would have it, the full one. So if there is any kind of anything that is gone, you can probably go back to the episode around January 14th and see if we I know we watched it shortly after it came out. So why is there an echo? Is there an echo? Is there an echo? Cool, Dee Dee. Thank you. She did. No? Okay. I don't know. That's weird. Somebody was like, hey, there's an echo. I never have an echo, so it threw me off. All right. Back to the video.
Physics. We did it.
Oh, yeah. That's their audio. So nothing I can do about that. Sorry.
Job.
Thorough.
Vetting him.
I asked him to, did he have any scratches? Did he have any bruises? He came here immediately after it happened.
He can prove that he had none.
No, I checked
right
his
there,
shoes.
see?
Yeah. I checked his car. I checked his hands.
I took
I
photos.
checked his neck.
Yeah.
He came over in shorts.
Yeah.
Within hours.
And he was happy for Kaylee.
Yeah.
Whether they were, I think they were close to getting back together. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they were. Whether she was moving without him or not, he had
Everything was about
nothing
getting
but love.
We went and investigated Adam. What did you tell him?
Mm-hmm.
We went through that whole thing. Adam is about her trying to get back with Jack.
Day
Because they're
one.
roommates.
Day one of this all happening, Jack was right there in the trenches with me, reaching out to people Kaylee had called. Who is
spent
this?
the first 3 nights are on our couch after he came. He could not leave us.
That's why the FBI agent said, Steve, slow down. We realize you guys are ahead of us. We realize
Whoa.
you guys have this chain of thought, and you're going where we're going. But we're an organization, and we have to check it a little bit slower than you. And you're just ripping through it, and you're ready to tell everyone. He's like, slow down.
And I know it sounds weird that we asked him to show us his arms and stuff,
Remember?
and we trusted him so much. But I mean, I think that
people,
I
think people would look at you negatively if that wasn't your reaction.
and I said, and I looked him in his eyes, and he was crying, and I was crying. I said, I'm so sorry.
We hate
that I
doing
have
this
to
too,
ask
but we
you,
have to.
Can you broke his heart?
Yeah.
And he was just like,
Nobody's
yes,
sticking up for me.
lifted up
And
his
we
shirt,
were sticking up for him.
and I said, okay.
We're
I said,
not
I'm so
blindly
sorry.
stupid parents.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry when your child
Yeah,
meets her demise.
And it did not make me feel good either. But I mean, I was just like,
But when people are like, how do you stick up for him blindly? We're not blind.
No.
We have
and we know that
done
kid's
our
heart.
due diligence. We
We
have
know his
looked at this.
family.
He's been around my babies when my babies were born. He would watch them for me so that I could go to the grocery store by myself.
Right.
He had nothing but love for Keely and Maddie.
The thing that got me is I love that woman I've been married 27 years with. I've lost my cool. I've said things I shouldn't say. My daughter broke up with him, and within a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, she had an interaction with a date. She said, call me a bitch. And she was like, I've been with one boy my whole life.
And I said, he's never called you. And she's like, never, Mom. And I said, really? And she goes, never. And he said, you could go make me a quesadilla. And she said, what did you say? And she said, I'm leaving. And she goes, and I left. And I went home like, oh, Jack.
She's like, I might not ever find another Jack.
And I'm like, you might not. And I said, honestly.
We would always tell her that, yeah.
Because she's like, she knows I'm a fly guy, but we're still married 27 years, have 5 kids with a happy life. She's like, your dad's definitely called me some names.
I think it happens in any relationship.
But I think,
you know?
yeah.
But
it's
he
always
goes
the
from
people
that
that argue off the wall the ones you love the most.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, she said, and I was just like, she's like, never, never. And I was
We're
just
supposed
like,
to believe he just takes out 4 on his way to. It just seems like a
Over
huge
one custody of the dog. Like, there's just
It wasn't all
Kaylee
that.
was leaving.
Kaylee was looking for every excuse for him to pick the phone.
Yes.
To read those texts.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
She
I will
wanted
leave
him to
tonight
know.
with the dog if you don't pick up. That type of thing.
Oh, so yeah. And they even when they broke up, they still communicated.
Yes,
it
every
sounds
day,
like
all the
it's
time.
like
The whole time she
In
was
that
on.
bar
it
scene,
was just a
they were around him.
Yeah.
Not Miss Jackson over here in the corner. No, she was around her ex, you know, and to me, that's comfort level. That's body language. This is the person that I'm comfortable in.
Talked to him about the conversation that night. We talked to the other guy about the conversation that went on that night, and they both, you know, they were just like, hey, what's been up? What have you been doing? You know, what's been going on? And she was trying to talk him into going to another bar down the street or something like that. And he's like, I worked all day. I'm tired. I'm going home. And he left and went home. And, you know, we think things could have been different.
We questioned
but, you know,
the time in that video.
That
We're not
time
sure if
stamp.
it's accurate. So people might look at that and take it to, based off of the records that we have, there could definitely be some questions on the timing of that.
Right.
For sure. But I will just say, I can't verify the timestamp there, but I know for a fact that after they left the corner club, they walked to the grub truck. It's about an 8-minute walk, so we need to factor that in. And then they ordered food. They were at the grub truck for about 10 minutes, and they didn't leave the grub truck until the Uber driver had arrived at 1:49.
And those
So
cameras
if you
would
work
suggest-
backwards, that timestamp doesn't match up.
I would
So
suggest.
I don't know. I'm not going to say it's completely false or anything or how false it is. I don't know. But I'm saying from the timeline that I know for a fact, working it backwards doesn't match that timestamp.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
and it had just been daylight savings, so maybe they hadn't updated their cameras or something.
We are not going to go to bed and wait for other people to resolve a family problem. This is a family problem. And
This isn't just
both
a
those
family
girls are our girls, and we are not. I'm not handing over. I thought about it. I thought, like, here, just take care of my family and make sure that you find the right guy. And I eventually got to a point and said, you know what? My family, we're all G's. We call ourselves G's because nobody can pronounce our name. We are not going to sit here and let somebody else do a job that we can't add value to.
And you guys have added value. I mean, you, Olivia, found the Twitch video that actually solidified the timeline.
We watched the ring video that showed them pulling up, and we're like, that's them. It's 1:56. That's what time they got home. And there's the car leaving, and yeah.
So we're working.
And I have my phone, Kaylee's phone is my phone, so we saw all the calls that she had made, and we with an exact time. And
I reached out to every person she called. I had them send screenshots of the communications that had happened on that day, of texts with my sister, of the call with my sister. How long was your phone conversation with her? Just to do whatever I could in those first few hours, because unfortunately, by the time we even found out, they've been gone for more than 12 hours.
What America needs to know is you can be a victim all the way up to the point where you just hand it all off. Or you can say, you know what? We have a moment in time to make an impact, do our due diligence, listen to what people are saying, write down deep notes, and you can be a part of solving it and work on it. Anyone who thinks that one officer or one department can do this alone, 4 people, they're crazy.
Yeah.
This takes the whole community. This takes all of us to solve. We can't put this on one man, one officer, one police person, one deputy, one sheriff. We have to all come together and say, you know what, this is on us. Are we going to let these people exist and go undetected? Or are we all going to come together and say, this is enough. We are going to stomp this guy out of our community. And I'm telling you right now, we're coming for you. You're going to get stomped out.
Yeah, I feel like America is behind us on this one. I mean, it started with, the community, and then Idaho, and then United States. And And I mean, it is just insane. I mean, I have people from Amsterdam.
Yeah, I was going to say it's worldwide now because I've got people that are in my
it is
chats
world-
from all
Finland,
over. Yeah.
little countries in Asia and Africa.
It's like,
It's insane.
The only role that we can play is to keep this hot, then that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to sit there and say I have the tech that the FBI does. I'm not going to say I'm smarter than these people or anything like that. But I'm saying our role as a family is it's ebbing, it's flowing, it's molding, it's this one day, it's this another day. And we are there for whatever that is, but it's never going to be for us to sit back and do just nothing. You know, if it's pushing, if it's letting off the gas, if it's, you know, going down to Moscow, going door to door, asking for cameras, asking for testimony, whatever it is, we're not going to stop.
This is a small community, and we're not gonna let this become normal. We're not gonna let this become
No, you don't go to sleep at night and somebody sneaks in your house.
You don't go to sleep at night not knowing at the end of the day you did absolutely everything you could have that day. To just your own capabilities. You know, I'm not saying go out there and you need to do a bunch of crazy shit. I'm not saying that.
or yell at other people that they didn't do it.
Right.
You're
But
doing it
to
yourself.
do whatever you can yourself so that you can go to bed at night saying, Kaylee and Maddie, I still got you.
Still gotta sleep, but
I still got you. Sometimes it's media, sometimes it's
Because
not.
they don't have a voice anymore.
They don't. But it doesn't mean that it stops where it
It's a
stops.
new way to find justice.
I'm honored that, Steve, that you reached out to me a few weeks ago via email, and I just wanted to know, like, what made you reach out to me, or how did you kind of find me, or just kind of curious on that.
I was looking at Kaylee's footprint on the internet. I'm an IT guy, and I noticed that she had followed some crime type investigators, and I found you, and I was looking through your content, and I was like, all right, this is somebody that she definitely was way more committed to than just a hit or two or a subscription. So I was like, I need to figure out what case she was looking at. I started looking at the case that she was following with you, and then I was like, I'm going to reach out because I want
She'll help us. Kaylee.
maybe she can help resolve Kaylee's story. They were already working together for other people's stories, but maybe this can help resolve her own story, which is just terrible that this happened to her. But that was the daughter I had. She wanted to help other families find this justice. So if I could find somebody else who already she wanted to work with, then that's the person I want to help solve this case.
She always tried to get me to. I'm not a podcast person. I don't talk. I don't listen to. And she'd always tell me, you know, and I'm like, yeah. You know, I just turn on the radio. You know, AM station all the way to work.
And then the crazy part about, I think, all of it for us too is that, you know, we never talked to Kaylee about, like, what are you on your funeral?
No.
So a lot of these decisions we're making in the dark. So when we can find those personal connections, it feels like a natural path to go down because it feels like Kaylee guided us. You know, this is Kaylee approved. I'll say it in my head, you know, like I'll have a text from her that says, I love oranges, you know, and this is Kaylee approved. It wasn't that we didn't know her. It's that there's so many questions and answers you have to answer for at the end that you just don't realize. So to see, you know, Chronicles of Olivia, and she commented on your videos and followed you and had told me, oh, you gotta get TikTok. Her name's Chronicles of Olivia. You know, you gotta follow her.
She definitely did, yeah.
It feels like a personal connection for us to her.
And that's more important than
anything.
advertising.
For us to do right by Kaylee, that's all that matters. If we felt doing right by Kaylee was, you know, to lay down and take this, we would do that.
Or just
but that's not her.
viewership or all this stuff that's so important to people. That's not how we raised our family. We didn't care about that. We still don't care about that. So we're trying to just
Make
go
her
by
proud.
our gut feeling in her life, and if that can play a role in solving this crime, then that makes it a lot better. That helps with the process of healing.
And that's another thing I want to say is I really admire your family. for being in the spotlight and not being like afraid and not just kind of walking away. And you guys are awesome. Like, I don't even know how to describe it.
We are afraid.
Inspiring.
We are worried. People tear us apart. We are definitely worried, and they do tear us apart. But it's not.
It doesn't matter.
That's not as important as our daughter's justice. Our daughter's justice is so much. Like, I might not be employable for 100 years.
I might have blackballed myself as well.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter, you know, because there's just so much.
I have to have justice.
It's so much bigger than us now, you know, and we would give everything for it, every day, everything, every day for the rest of our lives for it. Because Kaylee would do it for us. Anyone, Maddie would do it for us. You know,
all our children would do it for us. But to know what she went through, and to think that I can just pretend like I've done enough.
Yeah.
She went through absolutely a nightmare in our head.
Terror, pure terror.
So then we have to tell ourselves, if we do that kind of effort, and I think that's the new way to figure out how to get through this, because we're finding out there's a lot of cases that are cold. There's a lot of cases that are cold. People think just shut up and listen. Guess what? There's those parents are calling me right now and saying, don't be quiet.
Yeah.
Don't make the same mistake.
Right.
Don't let it die.
You need to be vocal. You need to be uncomfortable. You need to take heat.
And I'm going to pause it there again to respect the creator. Shout out Chronicles of Olivia. I appreciate that. Check out the new poll I put up there. I'm asking if they wouldn't have been stopped, if the agencies wouldn't have told Steve to slow down, you're getting way ahead of us. We're on the same path. You're just getting way too ahead of us. Vote in that poll. Do you think Steve G and family could have solved the case if they weren't held back, stopped from doing so? We just got a few more minutes and then we'll get into this a little bit.
You need to take risk. You might not be employable, but you might get, you could get justice with that. And that's what we're willing to do.
And those are other victims' parents that have reached out to you, telling some of their stories.
Other victims literally saying, I follow the rules. I did everything to a T. Multiple times these parents have came out and said, my case went cold. So I'm thinking, if it goes cold, I'm going to say I gave it my all. I did everything I could.
And we're not trying to say we're not going to follow the rules. We're just saying you need new rules.
Okay, not sure what happened. StreamYard just did that on its own there. There we go. My bad. Let me rewind it just a minute.
Uncomfortable. You need to take heat. You need to take risk. You might not be employable, but you might get, you could get justice with that. And that's what we're willing to do.
And those are other victims' parents that have reached out to you, telling some of their stories.
Other victims literally saying, I follow the rules. I did everything to a T.
What's up, Lulu?
Multiple times these parents have came out and said, my case went cold. So I'm thinking, if it goes cold, I'm going to say I gave it my all. I did everything I could.
And we're not trying to say we're not going to follow the rules. We're just saying you need new rules. Because obviously the ones that you're using aren't working in every case. Mm-hmm. So we're going to do what's right by us.
Family told us our baby was dead.
Yeah.
6 hours later, they tell us those rules aren't working.
Yeah.
Media goes so fast. So, yeah, we're going to play with a little bit more. I'm an IT guy. We're going to play with some more new modern rules.
Yeah.
What would you say to other parents that may have something like this in the future? What would be your number one tip or piece of advice that you would share with those parents?
We almost tried to put together an organization just for this, because after we went through it, you learn how much you don't know, and we are self-motivated and highly engaged people. So we were trying to think about it's almost like you need a pamphlet to say, hey, this is what's going to happen. But
I just feel like we're still so early into it. you know.
And I think I would say,
Don't be quiet.
don't be quiet if you have the ability to not be. And most importantly, above all of that, is you have to do right by your loved one, whatever that means. And that's different for everyone.
Interview me.
Yeah.
Nobody knows your child more than you. And every officer should look at you and say, tell me what your child's life looked like. How did she wake up? What time did she sleep in bed all day?
Yeah.
Did she wake up? Did
What
she
did
get
she
coffee?
normally wear to bed? You know, was she wearing something different?
All
crazy?
pertinent.
You know, so yeah, I would just say you just have to do what's right by them. And if that's, you know, they would want you to just move on and let them, that's absolutely fine. And if they would want you to stay up every day,
Kaylee would
grinding,
not.
you know,
She'd be like, you all better be hitting the streets and finding this person for me and Maddie.
Right.
Aubrey, where are you? Aubrey, where are you?
You know, and I wish that we had just had
Take Murphy with you.
a stronger hand guiding us through that and, you know, helping us to say, this is someone to talk to, this isn't someone, just so you know, that interview, people might say this afterwards, you know, because I feel like we just felt like we'd been hit by a truck and then it just kept coming back. Because we just kept trying.
But no, every time you talk, you will take more heat. They'll have less patience for you. So you have to be prepared for that mentally. Because I don't want to give somebody advice that is actually very hard.
People are going to say,
well, she said that,
you,
or that she smiled because she said that, or did you see the way they looked at each other when they said,
yeah, you will become a internet sleuth suspect, whether you lived 1,200 miles away like I did or not, and it hurts. And so you have to either just completely ignore it or not look at it, or get some thick skin fast.
I just don't even look at it. I did for the first week or so, and it just absolutely consumed me. And
It's
a
a
good friend
full-time
said,
job.
get off of it. Just get off of it. And I said, you're right. And I was in all the little forums on Facebook, and I just unadded myself. And I told her, I said, I can't see people chew up my daughter, and chew him up, and chew me up.
And I'm in every group I can be. I monitor every post,
You are a very
comment.
She's my hero.
young woman.
She's
Yeah.
my
I hear her
every
right
single
all
one,
the
because
time.
what if he slips up there? What if he's in one of those groups? What if he
That's why
says something that's a little too close that gives me a bad feeling?
That's why
It's a long shot, but it's what I can do. I can take that time. I can read those books. I'm physically capable of doing that, so I will.
One thing I would give to another father, if you have a role in that family, that you are the guy that's taken a leadership role in that family. You've always been there. We've been married for 27 years. I would suggest that you don't underestimate yourself. Don't let yourself be so small that you're scared to question a police officer and say, why didn't you ask me about these things? You need to engage them. You need to be aggressive. You need to go in there and say, you know what? I know about that dog. I know about her favorite shirt, her favorite dress, her favorite shoes. It might seem stupid, but as a father, I know my girl. And I think that information, even if 80% of it is invaluable, 90% something there, you can tell those officers if your daughter was behaving in a suspicious way, like she felt uncomfortable, or if she was totally in a comfort zone. And we can see it. We see the video. We're like, oh, she's totally comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But the world looks at it and they turn it into like, she's super uncomfortable. So
Why did she say carbonara like that?
Fun time with Daddy, and hope your shoulder feels better. What the hell did your shoulder?
We thanked Kaylee's family for sharing the precious memories they had with the girls, as well as sharing the difficult moments they've had since this tragedy. Before leaving, Christy showed us Kaylee and Maddie.
Interesting.
Their ashes are in urns that stand side by side.
Always respect Kelly. Always.
This is a sight
Always.
I will never forget. Forever etched in my memory. I really hope the 4 victims will get justice, and whoever stole their lives away will be held accountable.
What a great video. And we'll just set it there. What a great video. That, man, it's been a long time since we watched that. I might have to look for my old episode. I always love going back to the old shows and watching how crappy I was in the beginning. It's a little bit embarrassing. But at least I know this. In January, I had this microphone. I wasn't using an earbud like I did when I first started my show. So, yeah, the audio, episode 1 to probably 50 or something, went off an earbud. So, I don't know. We'll have to. I'll be checking my email here shortly, Devil Doll. I appreciate it. Thank you. There's a couple spots I want to kind of go over again here real quick. And if there's any other spots you want me to as well, let me know. Just real quick, and then we're going to get into some of the body cam, okay? All right, hold on 1 second here. Yeah, you should see some of my videos from like January, February, and such. It just never made sense. It was one person. We've been on this path for a long time. If anybody's been in the show for a while, or even if you go back to the old ones, you can actually see we've been on this path for a while. But like Kelly Miller said, it's always about respect. That's one thing that I'm about. And that's one thing I don't tolerate is people that don't respect. And I'm very heavy on that. So, but it's about the community, and that's the main thing. All right, so I'm going to go back to the 20-minute point, and that's when they brought up the phone call in the morning. Let me get to chat real quick. Thank you guys for checking it out. We're going to go to the 20-minute part because that's where they started talking about getting the phone call in the morning. So I want to hear this part.
With your friend?
If there is any timestamps you want me to check out, let me know, and we'll go ahead and check those out real quick too.
They were totally shot.
And then going to bed.
They were doing everything the way that you tell your kid to go.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting. At the end of the video, they said that they felt Kaylee was totally comfortable, and they watched the video. So I'm gonna kind of readjust what I thought when it came to her being uncomfortable with the dudes in the back. I don't know. I'm gonna sit there when it comes to that part of the grub truck. I'm gonna go ahead and deter to their opinion when it comes to that, because they know her best, and they're gonna listen. If they had LE saying slow down, you're going too fast, we're on the same path, but we have to check things, and it's slower for us than it is for you. Just hold it down a little bit. We all remember when he changed courses on his interviews. We all remember that. We all brought it up. But I thought it was interesting because they said that they felt that she was totally comfortable. So I'm going to go ahead and deter. I'm going to say she was totally comfortable in grub truck.
Don't be two girls all by yourself. Have somebody there that can walk with you. Everything was perfect. Everything was good.
Yeah.
All the way up to where they went to bed and went to sleep.
Yeah.
And that I can't control.
I know, Katrina, like up until right now, that's what I'm saying. Up until right now, I felt she was uncomfortable, right? Especially with the stuff that was going in the background. Up until this moment, when we ended the show and they said that they felt that she was, even Steve G, that she was totally comfortable, I have to say, like, as much as I want to say that I feel that she was uncomfortable, I'm sorry. I got to deter to Papa, Mama, and Sister who were doing the sleuthing, who LE told them, you know, hey, so I'm just going to deter, you know. That's just, even though, that's what I'm saying, up until this moment, I felt she was uncomfortable. I got to deter. I have to deter. I have to.
Family, we can't control what happens when you go to sleep.
Yeah.
When you go to sleep, that's us as society. We have to determine, are we going to let these people be out here that can do whatever they did, sneak into a house, whatever it was, are we going to allow that to be? Are we going to allow that to be okay?
Yeah.
Because we all go to bed at night.
Yeah, what was
I
their
know.
what was their flaw? They didn't have a
I know, but do you guys, you know what I'm saying though? Like listen, up until this minute, like I totally felt that way. That's what I'm trying to say. But you guys got to see where I'm coming from. Come on, like the family knows her the best. The family is the one that was uncovering all this stuff. When the case first came out, we were relying on Steve G's interviews because that's where we were getting our information. They weren't telling nobody nothing from the very beginning. We went through the first couple news clips when the crime took place, when it was first being reported. They weren't telling nothing since then. Steve G was the only one saying something. All I'm saying is yeah, damn straight, she looks uncomfortable turning around, dudes, all that stuff. Come on now. You all been with me on the grub truck. Y'all been with me on the deep dive. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you guys, this is Mama and Papa and Sister who are the ultimate sleuthers. I know where you're coming from. Trust me, I know where you're coming from. I feel you. Just hear me out, just hear me out. Just
a nanny cam in their home. What could they have done to be more
They
safe?
didn't lock the door perfectly.
Yeah. No, it's Moscow, Idaho. It's safe.
I wonder about the door because Kaylee was a door locker. She would come
totally
here,
was.
and so I question that all the time. Like, why wasn't the door locked? Why wasn't the door locked?
But that's not what society's built on. You don't say, oh, well, you didn't lock the door, so you deserve to die in your sleep.
Right. Yeah.
You don't do that. We have to make a society where these people show red flags, we identify them, we address them, and then we remove them from hurting other people.
The phone call the Goncalves family received on November 13th is one they'll never forget.
We were, it was Sunday around
We were watching football.
1-ish, and we were watching
every
football.
family, or a lot of families on Sunday.
And our son was here. Everybody was home except for she was down at her home.
We gather.
And my niece called me, and she was freaking out, and she said, "Christy, have you talked to Kaylee?" And I said,
Okay, when? So this is November 13th. This is 2057 of the video. We're just going to go back to this one real quick.
Society's built on. You don't say, oh, well, you didn't lock the door, so you deserve to die in your
What's
sleep.
up, Dog Fan?
Right. Yeah.
You don't do that. We have to make a society where these.
Did you hear about the golf clubs? What about them? What about the golf clubs? In the morning, CJ, you've got that one I sent you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Devil Doll. Thank you. One-ish. Yes, Deborah, I'm for real. And then the ones that we can't play, what I'm going to do is we can kind of like, I'm going to play those in a different spot. So we'll end up being able to watch those together. And then we can take notes and then bring those to the show. But I'd definitely love to have a couple people up on panel with me when we do that. Not only watch everything in order, but then when it comes to the programs that the show can get shut down for, we'll just go ahead and discuss it with some screenshots. Okay? And then we'll kind of make notes. I'll reach out to you guys. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe Sunday. Maybe Sunday we'll do it. And maybe I can reach out to some people Saturday and we can watch some of the stuff, like the 48 hours and the CBS, the ones that the channel will get, stream ended or whatever. We'll hang out with a few people, make some notes, and then Sunday, we'll just depart. The ones that are in order, we can go ahead and give you the notes of the episodes. That way it's all in one stream. I think that'd be a show. The golf. Yeah, we actually went over that. When did we go over that, everybody? When did we go over the golf clubs and how there was only a few in it? Oh my gosh, when was that? When was that? When did we go over that, everybody? That was like, what? 3 weeks ago, maybe? I'm trying to remember. Let me know if you remember. I remember because that was a big discussion. Was it last week? Oh man, it seems a lot longer. It's because I'm still sick. Yeah. Maybe that's why it seems like it's been forever, because I've just been sick as hell. Active shooter in Maine. 2 weeks ago. It figures like it's been a while. I was going to say, it felt like it's been a while. Yeah, because we were talking about that, how there was just a few clubs. Either was a starter set or it was missing a few, that's for sure. Because I think we even went through what clubs were missing, I think. Yeah, we even went through like what clubs were missing. I love me some golf. Oh, I love me some golf. All right, so this is, let me see here, 1 second. I see a police chase, but that's it. Let me see here. All right, so we are gonna go back to 2057 now. When did they say?
Society's built on. You don't say, "Oh, well, you didn't lock the door, so you deserve to die in your sleep."
Right. Yeah.
You don't do that. We have to make a society where these people show red flags, we identify them, we address them, and then we remove them from hurting other people.
The phone call the Goncalves family received on November 13th is one they'll never forget.
We were, it was Sunday around
we were watching football.
1-ish, and we were watching
every
football.
family, or a lot of families.
1 p.m.
And our son was here. Everybody was home.
Okay, so 1 p.m. they were watching football. "1 p.m. watching football."
Home, except for she was down at her home in LA.
We gather.
And
Dr. Thrifty gave you a shout out. I'm not sure. I'll have to see. I've heard of the name before. I'm not sure. Dr. Thrifty? Said it was 10 there. Right? 4 o'clock. Huh. Oh, for real? Oh, I'll have to check it out. I didn't even know. I don't think I was tagged or anything, so I didn't even know. Oh. So what's up, detective? The time change? Well, they said 1. The mom.
Hey, oh, well, you didn't lock the door, so you deserve to die in your sleep.
Right. Yeah.
You don't do that. We have to make a society where these people show red flags, we identify them, we address them, and then we remove them from hurting other people.
The phone call the Goncalves family received On November 13th is one they'll never forget.
We were, it was Sunday around
We were watching football.
1-ish, and we were
like
watching
every
football.
family, or a lot of families on Sunday.
Yeah, but they're saying it's 1:00, so the time change would be for us, not them. But they're saying 1, so it was their time zone. So, okay, so what time? Hold on a minute. So what part of Idaho were? Okay, I'm gonna look at what part of Idaho are they in, and what city are they in? Watch the original video. What? Yeah, that's what I thought, Katrina. That funky spelling. What's up, Lucia? Huh. Yeah, that's, I mean, interesting. Watch the original. Whoa, shit. Watch the original video, huh? Thank you, Devil.
13th is one they'll never forget.
We were, it was Sunday around
We were watching football.
1-ish, and we were
like
watching
every
football.
family, or a lot of families on Sunday.
And
We were watching
our
football.
son was here. Everybody was home except for she was down at her home
We
in LA.
gather. On
And
Sunday.
my niece called me and she was freaking out. And she said, "Christy, have you talked to Kaylee?" And I said, "Yesterday, like last night." And she said, something bad happened. And she was just bawling. And I said, "Well, what do you mean? What do you mean?" And she said, "I think Kaylee's dead." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And she
All
said,
our stomachs just dropped.
She said there was somebody just called me and they live down there. She said there was a party last night and somebody went in and shot the party up and Kaylee was shot. I was like, "What?" And I just threw my phone. I started screaming. I started telling everybody to call Olivia and to get all her roommates on the phone. And I started calling Maddie, and Maddie wouldn't answer, and I said, "No, this can't be, because Maddie would have called me. If Kaylee was shot last night at a party, Maddie or Jack would have called me." Like, no, and I called Kaylee and went straight to voicemail. I was calling Maddie, I was calling Jack, it was ringing. I turned on the TV, and I saw it said 1122 King Road. Like, Kaylee's car was in the driveway, Maddie's car was in the driveway, but it was saying an unconscious person. And we're saying, okay, maybe this isn't, like, maybe something happened. So Steve starts calling the police. Steven, our son, started calling the hospital, and
They had to wait that long for LE to give them a call. That is so sad. When you get a call like that and you can't even have it confirmed. When you keep calling but the phones don't answer. And you're just waiting because what else are you supposed to do? Man. I'm ready for trial because I'd really, really like to know why it took so long. Not just for them, I'm saying period. Why did it take so long for a frickin' call? Why did it take so long for the proper people to be there. That had to be excruciating. Getting calls like that. And they were probably calling the fucking chief too, and no answer. No answer. What does that have to do with the... It's like saying, somebody's saying no offense, but, well, usually if you have to say it, then it means that it's probably offensive, right? I mean, why would people say no offense before they say something? It's probably because you're going to take offense to it, no? The verbiage, people. The verbiage. The verbiage. Come on, sleuths. The verbiage. You know what I'm saying? You can delete it if, you know, if it's not okay. No offense, but explosive diarrhea is a motherfucker, you know, right? Exactly, Lynn. You're sitting there waiting all that time. You're getting all these calls. Hearing this, hearing that. You're none of these calls that you're calling are picking up. The people you're calling aren't picking up. Why? Medicated? If you right? If you lead with don't continue typing. Right, oh snap, that's right. That's right. No offense. Okay, babe. Oh shit. The trolls are just like last night when a troll came in. They said something, I had a nice crafty response, and then theirs was F you. Ooh, like come on, man. Come with some stronger shit, yo. I'm sorry you never ran into somebody as crafty as this guy. See what I'm saying? We weren't turning. It's an obvious statement. It's an obvious statement. Like, come on. No offense, but oh shoot. Oh my lord. Right, Caddy? Come on, everybody. Be about the peace, positivity, and progress. You know, it's like somebody coming in last night just as well describing injuries again. You know what I mean? Come on, people. Grow up. You know what I'm saying? We're all adults here. This is an 18-plus stream. You know what I'm saying? So I already know you got to be verified to be 18-plus. So guess what? Act like one. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard, people. You just act your age. That's all. That's it. It's pretty easy. All right. So there. Let me see. This is where they said that it was. Well, you heard it already.
Steve starts calling the police. Steven, our son, started calling the hospital, and he started calling the PD and saying, my name is Goncalves, and we heard that my daughter Kaylee Goncalves was killed in an accident, and they said, oh, we can't give you any new information, we'll call you back. Well, we just, next thing you know, some more phones started ringing. Our daughters came running down.
Well, just as a heads up, I am going to be getting a Cricut machine for the show, okay? Just as a heads up. there's not going to be any more merch on Stream Elements. You're going to be getting it here. It's going to be cheap as fuck. Hoodies. I mean, I'm getting the really good fucking cricket. All right. So we're going to be, the mods, your hoodies are going to be coming soon. So mods, if you want that freaking hoodie, you need to hit up Discord. Let me know. It's on me. It's on me. You guys deserve the hoodie with the wings and the CJ's angel on the front. All right? Seriously. But anyway. Hey, I'm going to make them cheap as fuck. Because, listen, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm going to have my own t-shirt line. Like, 5 years down the road, because I'm going to be doing my art shows are going to be art that I'm going to use for my t-shirts. So it's going to be my art on the shirt with my slogans. So in 5 years from now, you'd be like, son of a bitch, look at, there's all these t-shirts from CJ. I'm going to have my own damn t-shirt line. Trust me. I'm telling you guys years in advance here when it's actually a fucking store and it's actually a fucking thing. So, and there's only going to be limited shit. It's not going to be something that, you know, I might have a few extra in the back or something, but it's going to be a series. The shirts are going to be like a series of shirts. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up. I'm getting a cricket machine probably Friday. I'm just kind of looking over things a little bit more because it is a big purchase. All right. It is a big purchase, but I got to make sure I do the homework, make sure that it's all comfortable, cool, getting the whole thing, and we're going to be able to do all of it. So, and I'm going to be able to have my own bumper stickers finally, because I've been wanting my own bumper stickers since January. I'm finally going to have bumper stickers, and they're only going to be $2.50. That's it. That's it. So, hey, I'm serious. What you can do is you can use Stream Elements, but basically we can do whatever. All we'll have to do is once I get the cricket machine, I'll be putting out like a Facebook thing where you guys can go order from Facebook. You'll be going to Evil CJ's Facebook, and I'll have a store section in the photos, and you can go to each photo, and I'll have a photo of each shirt or item or whatever, front and back, different angles with the full prices from highest to lowest. Everything will be customized too. So you can have your name on my stuff too. You can have Caddy going across the top as well. So it'll be happening soon, trust me. I'm just trying to decide which one I'm going to go with, because this is a business decision that is a decision that's going to be like a 5-year decision when it comes to this cricket maker. So I need to make sure that I get one for 5 years, not one for a year. You know what I mean? So I need to do all of the back scratchers. I don't know about that. I don't know about. We probably could. Who knows? I mean, the pot, like whatever I could go, like wherever I need to go shopping, I could get the shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all going to be fully customizable. It always was at Stream Elements. That's why my cut was just like maybe $1 on each item, just because I wanted to make sure that you guys had it all fully customized however you want it. So trust me, that t-shirt line is going to be coming soon, and I can't wait. Peach can sundial, here we come.
16 and 17 years old, came and said, Mom, somebody just called me and said that Kaylee's
And my Gizmo t-shirt too.
dead. And we're like, what? Like, who was it? She's like, I don't know. It's somebody that they're there and Kaylee's dead. And we were like, oh my God, like this can't be, it's just very, very, very dramatic.
These protocols have to be updated.
Yeah.
These protocols of somebody showing up at your door 10 hours later, it's ridiculous.
Because we had hours of panic before the sheriff department.
It was terrible.
It was about 4:30.
So you guys, they never called you. You guys found this out from family members that were in the area, and you guys didn't get notified. You actually reached out to them, and you guys still didn't get notified
he
for
wound up
hours.
calling them twice.
And I
and
get
then
it.
I
Their
said,
protocols are all about, like, maybe they'll commit suicide or something, but they have to be updated because social media moves so fast, so quick. That's why we are using social media. I'm not using the most common channels.
we called Karen, and we asked Karen if she had heard anything, and she goes, yes, I was told that I need to get down because there was an
Person was
accident.
good. We
Thought maybe Maddie was the unconscious person, and we had already been told by several people, like 100% Kaylee was dead. And we were like, 100, and they're bawling, and they're like
Maddie
this.
was just unconscious.
And then we're like, but Karen got a call saying to come down there. We haven't got a
I thought
call.
that was a good sign.
So we're like,
Oh, wow.
And I kept giving him hope. I kept saying, if it happened last night, you guys would know by now. I kept giving him hope. I said, they just released an article that the roommates are being questioned right now. They probably took their phones, Mom. Like, I just kept giving him hope because I live in Los Angeles. It wasn't here.
Oh,
and
wow.
That's all I could do. But like,
Oh, wow.
just this feeling in your gut that like I just
knew.
sat with.
I knew as soon as my niece, I knew as soon as Sabrina called, I knew that it was real.
Yeah.
And she was freaking out.
And then
Wow.
it up around
4:30. Yeah, the sheriff came around 4:30, and then he told us that there were 4
What's
victims.
up, Randy?
And we
Thank you
said,
for hopping in.
"Is one of them Maddie Morgan?" And he told us yes. Then we realized that it was Keely and Maddie.
We
And
still knew she was going down there.
yeah, Karen was still on her way, and she
still driving.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got down there, and she got there about 20 minutes after we got the news. And
Another person.
That was an interesting part of that. So time has changed plenty of times, huh? Now, this is another part that I wrote down too, because I put down on my notes here that he said they also investigated Adam because he said this. What's up, Randy? Thank you for hopping in again. I don't know if you could hear me or not. If I heard this right, when it showed the video of what did you tell Adam, right? I could have swore he said that we also investigated Adam too.
Who was broken by the news of Kaylee's passing is her ex-boyfriend, Jack Decor.
Thank you, Sue.
Not only has his life been picked apart,
What's up,
he's been
Typically?
scrutinized by social media.
You know in your heart he had nothing to do with this.
More than, I mean, even just logically.
Yeah, Zane. It's Zaina's mom. She's been locked up most of the time. I think she just got out, right, guys? Didn't she just get out again, or is she supposed to go back? I can't remember. Let me know, because I know that she was either supposed to get out or supposed to go back, or which is it? I can't remember. Sorry, I've been sick the last week, so I've even misplaced stuff in my home because of my sick. Oh, it's been horrible, but I'm getting a lot better, especially today. Oh, sorry about that. Typically, no, I've been blowing my nose. I'll get these fits where I'm either coughing or blowing my nose quite a bit. I'm telling you, CJ, do the relaxation meditation thing. You'll make bank. Well, tell me how to do it, Peaches. How do I do it? What's up? What's up? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Thank you. I do. I'm still stuffy, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I heard that she was going to be on there. I'm negative. But I've also heard from other people that they keep testing negative as well. And they're having the same symptoms as I had. So, what do you think? What do you think about that one? I think it's kind of weird, right? Yes, we heard about the Lewiston, Maine thing. Prayers to them in the community there. Yeah, let me know, Peaches. I need to do something. I got a cool Halloween mask for you guys. Ooh, I can't wait for that. This is going to be cool. All right, so I'm going to go to this part. Now, this is a part where, like I said, I thought he said they ASMR CJ, I'm in. What do I need to do? I read these documents. I read these documents. I don't know. Give me something to read, right? Like, what should I get? Like, some kind of subscription to like short stories? Ooh, and then I could do the voices that go with it, like short stories with CJ, right? Short stories with CJ, 35 minutes. Short stories. Cowboy attire. Huh. What's up, Jerry? Cowboy attire. I should do that. I should look those up sometime. Short stories. Short stories with CJ. But then you guys will like pass out halfway through my story. So then you won't even like get to finish the story. Because you'll pass out halfway through. You just have to listen in the morning when you get up to go to work. There you go. Oh, I only made it about 20 minutes. Got to listen to the rest, right? What happened to Susie? What happened? Right? Have to get it. Oh, I will get into character too. I tried hooking up this soundboard that I have, and it doesn't. You could hear the test on my lounge channel when I tested it out. It wasn't good at all. It wasn't good at all. Okay, so this is the part where I think he said that they investigated 22. Wow, last we heard it was 15. Oh my gosh. Well, you know what I thought about, because it's already been 2 hours and 15 minutes. Maybe what we'll do is we'll finish up this and we'll go to the live breaking news, because I did think about switching the episode up to this and then the breaking news of tonight, and then we can do the body cam stuff Friday. Let me play this here real quick. Let's get through the rest of this video. We'll go to the breaking news, okay? This is where I believe they talk, where he says, I believe they said he investigated Adam.
I think that a lot of people assume we're blinded by this individual, but contrary to that, we're very capable of removing our emotions for Jack, which is absolute love, and just looking at the situation logically, looking at this individual in front of us, looking at a pattern of behaviors of him that we've seen throughout 5-6 years. So emotionally, and in our hearts and in our heads and in every sense of the word, it's
Physics.
not.
We did a job
thorough
vetting him.
I asked him to, yes, like, did he have any scratches? Did he have any bruises? He came here immediately after it happened.
He can prove that he had none.
No, I checked his shoes. Yeah. I checked his car. I checked his hands.
Coming up right here.
I checked his neck.
Hold on.
Yeah. He came over in shorts. Yeah. Within hours.
And he was happy for Kaylee. Yeah. Whether they were, I think they were close
Wait
to
a minute.
And then she got down there, and she got there about 20 minutes after we got the news. And
Another person who was broken by the news of Kaylee's passing is her ex-boyfriend, Jack Decor. Not only has his life been picked apart, he's been scrutinized by social media.
Hold on a minute. Did they already say it? Where I thought they said it. Hold on.
Good sign.
So we're like, oh. And I kept giving him hope. I kept saying, if it happened last night, you guys would know by now. I kept giving him hope. I said, they just released an article that the roommates are being questioned right now. They probably took their phones, Mom. Like, I just kept giving him hope because I live in Los Angeles. It wasn't here. And that's all I could do. But like, it's just this feeling in your gut that like, I just sat with.
I knew as soon as my niece, as soon as Sabrina called, I knew that it was real.
Yeah.
And she was freaking out.
And then cops showed up around 4:30.
Yeah, the sheriff came around 4:30, and then he told us that there were 4 victims, and we said, "Is one of them Maddie Mogan?" And he told us yes.
No, it's. I could have swore it's when they were showing the video of Maddie when they had the conversation talking about Adam, right?
With Keely
Hold
and
on.
Maddie.
We still knew she was going down there.
Yeah, Karen was still on her way, and she
Still driving.
And she got down there, and she got there about 20 minutes after we got the news. And
Another person who is broken by the news of Kaylee's passing is her ex-boyfriend, Jack Decor. Not only has his life been picked apart, he's been scrutinized by social media.
You know in your heart he had nothing to do with this.
More than, I mean, even just logically. I think that a lot of people assume we're blinded by this individual, but contrary to that, we're very capable of removing our emotions for Jack, which is absolute love, and just looking at the situation logically, looking at this individual in front of us, looking at a pattern of behaviors of him that we've seen throughout 5-6 years. So emotionally, and in our hearts and in our heads and in every sense of the word, it's
Physics.
not
We did a job
thorough.
vetting him.
I asked him to, yes, like, did he have any scratches? Did he have any bruises? He came here immediately after it happened.
We can prove that he had none.
No, I checked his shoes.
Yeah.
I checked his car. I checked his hands.
I took
I
photos.
checked his neck.
Yeah.
He came over in shorts.
Yeah.
Within hours.
And he was happy for Kaylee.
Yeah.
Whether they were, I think they were close to getting back together. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they were. Whether she was moving without him or not, he had
Everything was about
nothing
getting
but love.
We went and investigated Adam. What did you tell Adam?
Mm-hmm.
We went through that whole thing. Adam is about her trying to get back with Jack.
Day
Because they're
one.
roommates.
Mhm. Day one.
After it happened.
We can prove that he had none.
No, I checked his
Oh,
shoes.
thank you,
Yeah.
Lynn. I
checked his
appreciate
car.
you.
I checked his hands.
I took
I checked
photos.
his neck.
Thank
he
you.
came over in shorts.
Yeah.
Within hours.
And he was happy for Kaylee.
Yeah.
Whether they were, I think they were close to getting back together. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they were. Whether she was moving without him or not, he had
Everything was about
nothing
getting
but love.
We went and investigated Adam. What did you tell Adam?
Mm-hmm.
We went through that whole thing. Adam is about her trying to get back with Jack.
Day
Mrs. Johnny Knapp, why would somebody bruising make a difference on what we're? I'm just curious. Why would somebody's bruising have anything to do with this conversation about these family members and the victims? That's pretty disrespectful as far as I'm concerned. Why would you even type something like that? This is about the victims and the family. I don't understand why people choose certain words. You're supposed to have compassion for these family members and the victims. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to have compassion. Please use compassion when you choose your words. It's very unfortunate that there's people out there that don't even consider these family members when they're typing that stuff. I don't understand. It's unfortunate.
Because they're roommates.
Day one of this all happening,
It's
Jack was right there in the
unfortunate.
trenches with me, reaching out to people Kaylee had called.
Right for
To
you.
tell who is
Spent
this?
the
Who
first
is
3
this?
nights here on our couch after he came. He could not leave us.
That's why the FBI agent said, Steve, slow down. We realize you guys are ahead of us. We realize that you guys have this chain of thought and you're going where we're going, but we're an organization and we have to check it a little bit slower than you. And
We do this for the families and the victims. So as soon as you're in true crime, you should already know that. And that's what you should be practicing. I don't understand why somebody would be disrespectful like that to the victims or the family members. I just don't understand it. There's no reason for it. What if somebody was talking about your family member? Mrs. John E. Knapp, what if somebody was talking about your family member that way? What about your husband, your mother, your sister, your daughter, your son? I don't think you would appreciate it. Come on, people. It's not that hard. Like I said, this is an 18-plus stream, you guys. And I'm not talking to the normal community. I'm talking to the people that just come in, type 3 messages, and it's all about the victim's injuries. I'm sorry. When you come to a true crime show, you should already know that.
You're just ripping through it, and you're ready to tell everyone.
You got to use
Slow
it.
down.
And I know it sounds weird that we asked him to show us his arms and stuff if we trusted him so much, but I mean, I think that
people,
I
think people would look at you negatively if that wasn't your reaction.
and I said, and I looked him in his eyes, and he was crying, and I was crying. I said, I'm so sorry.
We hate
that I
doing
have to
this
ask
too,
you."
but we have
But
to.
it broke his heart.
Yeah.
And he was just like,
Nobody's
yes,
sticking up for me.
lifted up
And
his
we
shirt,
were sticking up for him.
and I said, okay.
We're
I said,
not
I'm so
blindly
sorry.
stupid parents.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry when your child meets her
And
demise.
it did not make me feel good either. But I mean, I was just like,
But when people are like, how do you stick up for him blindly? We're not blind.
No.
We have
and we know that
done
kid's
our
heart.
due diligence. We
We know
have
his
looked at this.
family.
He's been around my babies when my babies were born. He would watch them for me so that I could go to the grocery store by myself.
Right.
Well, and that's just more them talking about how, they don't feel like he was part of it. Now I'm skipping ahead to 40 minutes. And, I appreciate it, mods. I appreciate you so much. There's a reason that they're doing this. Because I'm getting out there. And they don't like that because I'm competition. So, it is what it is. I just like making t-shirts, so when they come in being stupid like that. Thank you, Nicola. I appreciate that. It won't let me see what it is yet. Prickly pear. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you, mods. Appreciate you so much. And that's why this gets put out there. It's well known. You know what I'm saying? It's right there. All right, so I put 40 minutes on a note here, and I'm going to go ahead and play it from here now. And if anybody has that Dr. Thrifty video, go ahead and send it to me. I'd like to check it out and throw some support over that one.
But to know what she went through and to think that I can just pretend like I've done enough.
Yeah.
She went through absolutely a nightmare in our head.
Terror. Pure terror.
So then we have to tell ourselves if we do that kind of effort. And I think that's the new way to figure out how to get through this, because we're finding out there's a lot of cases that are cold.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cases that are cold. People think just shut up, and listen. Guess what? There's those parents are calling me right now and saying, don't be quiet.
Yeah.
Don't make the same mistake I made.
Don't let it die.
You need to be vocal. You need to be uncomfortable. You need to take heat. You need to take risk. You might not be employable, but you might get, you could get justice with that. And that's what we're willing to do.
And those are other victims' parents that have reached out to you, telling
Yes,
some of their stories.
other victims literally saying, I follow the rules. I did everything to a T. Multiple times these parents have came out and said, my case went cold. So I'm thinking, if it goes cold, I'm going to say I gave it my all. I did everything I could.
And we're not just going to say we're not going to follow the rules. We're just saying you need new rules, because obviously the ones that you're using aren't working in every case.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do what's right by us.
Family told us our baby was dead.
Yeah.
6 hours later, they tell us those rules aren't working.
Yeah.
Media goes so fast. So Yeah, we're gonna play with a little bit more. I'm an IT guy. We're gonna play with some more new modern rules.
Yeah. What would you say to other parents that may have something like this in the future? What would be your number one tip or piece of advice that you would share with those parents?
We almost tried to put together an organization just for this, because after we went through it, you learn how much you don't know, and we are self-motivated and highly, engaged people. So we were trying to think about it's almost like you need a pamphlet to say, hey, this is what's going to happen. But
I just feel like we're still so early into it, and I think I would say,
don't be quiet.
Don't be quiet if you have the ability to not be. And most importantly, above all of that, is you have to do right by your loved one, whatever that means. And that's different for everyone.
Interview me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's so sad. It's so sad. It's tough to hear that part, because they're like, you know what, the fact that they had to be stopped. All right, we're going to go ahead and switch to some breaking news real quick. We're going to switch to the active shooting right now. Let me see here. It says 16.
But tomorrow as well, we've had a number of cancellations and closures for schools, school districts, YMCA, all closed in response to
it's saying
this incident
16
that is unfolding right now.
And started at multiple scenes earlier this evening: a bowling alley, a local bar, a Walmart distribution center. We have learned as well one of the locations where police began the map here. So you see Mollison Way, that is the spare time bowling alley where we are told was one of the locations involved in this. Also Lincoln Street, Schmeggy's Pool Hall, that is the location there at 551 Lincoln Street. And then another location that we have learned is on Goddard Road. That is the Walmart distribution center that Josh Margolin, with ABC News reporter with our network affiliate ABC, was working that source as well with police to find out what happened there at that scene. So we have been in touch with the local hospitals to find out who's being treated. We've seen the video from outside the hospital as families are showing up, doctors, nurses, other medical professionals, hospital supply companies bringing extra supplies to the hospitals tonight to make sure that they are well supplied for what they may need in the hours to come tonight.
And I think it's really important that we underscore that this is a current and active developing investigation. The suspect is still at large and considered armed and dangerous, which is why these shelter-in-place orders are still around, are still in existence. So we are following the very latest details. We're expecting to get a briefing from state police as to where they are in terms of the investigation. But you have to kind of wonder how police are trying to track down this suspect. And when I say police, I mean multi-agency effort on the ground, in the air, all hands on deck to try and find the suspect. I want to see if we can pull up the picture of the suspect or pictures of the suspect that we have. You're taking a look at one of the newer angles. You're looking at the suspect, police say, is responsible for this mass shooting event. They say, law enforcement saying this is an AR-15 style rifle, and police are looking for this person tonight. They're also looking for a white hatchback, or they're saying that the white hatchback
is connected to the suspect that you see on your screen.
And so many layers to understand what this means for Mainers, what this means to you at home in this immediate aftermath of what's happening. The Lewiston Police Department, again, issuing that shelter-in-place order for the city. What that means for you, residents urged to stay inside with your doors locked. If you're at work, they say stay at home, stay at work, stay where you are. If you're at home, stay at home with your doors locked. The FBI sending in aviation units, again, those helicopters that we've been mentioning. We've been hearing people wonder if those are connected to this search. Yes, they are, because the FBI, New Hampshire State Police sending in those helicopters, other aircraft to help in the search for the suspect. You're looking at him. According to police, that is him. That is who they're looking for this evening. New Hampshire police putting up roadblocks, again, trying to confine the suspect if he is on the run, trying to leave Maine, because that is one of the things we do not know. We don't know if that suspect is still in Maine, in which direction from Lewiston he may have moved, if he's crossed state lines at this point. Again, so many questions, and that's why we just go back to the shelter in place, according to police, to really just stay home with your doors locked tonight.
And I think the word to describe this is fluid. It is developing. It is moving. It is happening currently as we speak. FBI, ATF, local police, sheriff's office, virtually every single law enforcement agency you can think of is actively trying to find the suspect that you see on your screen there. New Hampshire police putting up roadblocks, according to our sources, aviation assets, which means obviously they're searching from the air at this point. So all resources going toward trying to find this suspect that you see on your screen that police say is responsible for killing at least 16 people and injuring dozens more.
The FBI, ATF mobilizing this evening. The statement from ATF Boston saying this is a division-wide response, meaning that all 6 New England states are now involved in this search and trying to really leverage anything that they have from a law enforcement perspective to be able to find this suspect as quickly as they can. As we look at live pictures there as well on the screen from outside Central Maine Medical Center, the response due to this mass casualty event as described by Central Maine Medical Center, St. Mary's Hospital, also involved multiple hospitals, multiple law enforcement agencies trying to do what they can to respond to these plans that they do put in place, these contingency plans to make sure they are ready for something like this, certainly hoping that they never have to use those plans tonight. Unfortunately, they do.
Unfortunately is right. And Terry was outside of the hospital for us, telling us about how loved ones who believed that their loved one was either injured or hurt, and they were waiting patiently to find out some information about that. Terry remarking that people really coming together and doing the best that they can to support each other as this very difficult situation continues to unfold. We're talking about 16 people dead at this point. We're talking about multiple hospitals preparing for multiple patients and victims, and now a multi-state manhunt.
And so we think about the search as that's happening, protecting your safety and also supporting those you love. So many people reaching out with their thoughts, and we know how Mainers are to love and support. And if there is ever a time for it, it is certainly tonight, because it's difficult to keep people informed, to keep people safe, and for police to be responding to this, and also the medical professionals who are saving lives in this moment as we speak. Those people are arriving at the hospitals, families who are arriving at the hospital to learn more about their loved ones who arrived there at St. Mary's and Central Maine Medical Center tonight.
If you are a parent or a guardian of a student at a Lewiston school, we want to let you know we are just learning that Lewiston schools have been canceled for tomorrow. Clearly, I'm sure you are very concerned as well about the safety of your child going going to school. We want to let you know that at this point, classes have been canceled. That shelter-in-place order, as of right now, also still in place, as insofar as we know at last check.
That put in place by Lewiston police, and the shelter-in-place really meaning to stay home tonight. We are now after the 10 o'clock hour, staying home. Many people probably, would be heading to bed at this time, and very unsettling evening underway for people all across the state and possibly across New England, because again, police are not able to confirm whether this suspect who they're looking for has left the state. Those roadblocks going up in New Hampshire in an effort to try to prevent anybody, presumably that suspect, from leaving the state in an effort to how police describe the situation to contain that suspect, the word they use.
It is now a national news story. It is on national news outlets covering what is transpired here in Lewiston. It's looking like it's getting a little bit more active outside the emergency room there at Central Maine Medical Center. People coming out, going in, filing in. We're looking at a lot of medical personnel waiting there. Terry telling us that there were some empty gurneys as well, just being prepared for what may come their way. These folks, a lot of them rushing in to help the people right now. I think I see Terry getting ready in front of the camera here. He may have some new information for us. Oh, actually, right now what you're looking at is the suspect, one of the first and earliest picture of the suspect that we had.
And now we switch back to Terry Stackhouse there live outside the hospital. And Terry, you've been keeping us updated, and we've been using the story that you told because it really is so jarring to envision medical professionals running in there this evening. What have you seen here in the last 30 minutes or so since we chatted with you last?
Megan and John, we've been monitoring the perimeter of the hospital, and moments ago, you saw it live just a minute ago. A number of people exited the front entrance of the hospital. It looked like there were some first responders, police, perhaps some firefighters, also some plainclothes civilians exiting. That coming after we saw several police vehicles speeding away just in front of the hospital. So the law enforcement activity, it does remain very active, for lack of a better term, in this area. Again, we've been very careful tonight, not speculating, but just to give you a sense of the reach of the police response here. As I understand it, a number of police vehicles also seen speeding by on Route 196 in the Topsom area. It's about 30 minutes from here, so we know that law enforcement has a significant presence. We've seen helicopters flying above the hospital and here in Lewiston. Just a couple of minutes ago, you were talking about school being canceled for tomorrow in Lewiston. That is not the only district to make that decision. MS-8075, which serves Topsom, Bowdoin, Bowdenham, their superintendent also just alerting parents that they will not be holding school tomorrow due to these events that are unfolding. And it was actually today that teachers in the MS-8075 district, they had a routine meeting. They do these on a monthly basis or so, where they discuss what they would do in an active shooter situation to make sure that they are prepared to protect children. And tomorrow, school is canceled because one of these tragic events has happened really in their own backyard. We had told you about the family members, the loved ones of people who are on the right side, the other opposite exit from the hospital. We saw probably 24 or so people that were waiting on an update on the conditions of their loved ones. So many of them who we heard from that they knew their brother-in-law, their son, daughter was in the care of the hospital, was being treated there. No update on their conditions from what we understand, but from what we last saw, the group that had gathered on this side of the hospital, they are no longer there. I'm not sure where they are at this point, but again, everybody is trying to get information here, so we're going to continue to keep tabs on it as the situation evolves throughout the night. John, Megan.
Terry, quick question for you. When we checked in with you the first time, you were talking about officers with long guns in front of the hospital, sort of protecting that area, making sure everything was safe. Are they still there?
They are, and in fact, we're going to show you here just on the sidewalk. So we're across the street from the hospital, but there is another staging area where there are some other reporters trying to gather information about what's going on. Just in front of them, there is one officer that has a long gun there, providing that extra sense of security. He was rather helpful in reminding us that the suspect here is still at large, and saying, I'm able to monitor you at the staging area, or you're safe across the street where you are now. But you're reminding us that the threat is still out there, and that really is top of mind for everybody who is here at this moment, Megan.
And Terry, have you had any contact other than that victim's family members that you were talking to? Any sense of how the community is trying to grapple with this, or make any kind of sense or come together at this moment? Any feeling in terms of any of that?
I have not spoken with any loved ones since we learned how many people have died here. At least 16 is what we understand at this moment. Those people, though, they did not know the condition of their loved one. But as more and more of these family members were arriving at the hospital, we saw a chaplain for the hospital come out with a staff member, and the staff member alerted these families that this chaplain was here and offered to lead a prayer. And it was difficult to watch, because we saw a parent who was there and knew very, very little about what was going on, and others had been briefed more that these shooting incidents had taken place. So emotionally speaking, some very challenging sort of 0 to 60 realizations for some of these families that are realizing that something terrible has happened. They're arriving at the hospital, and then learning and digesting information that in so many of these situations, I think, is far worse than they expected.
And so jarring to see police outside the hospital, and jarring information here as well. Terry, have you seen any ambulance arrive in the past 30 minutes or so? It was active outside there earlier. We saw multiple ambulance arrive. What's that been like in the past 30 minutes or so?
Yeah, John, it was a flurry of activity when we first got here. That was probably 2 hours ago. And for our photographer, photojournalist Will Ross, who I'm with right now, he pointed out that of all the ambulances that were arriving here, and we're talking about well over a dozen, it seemed like all of them were from a different community. In so many emergencies here in Maine, especially rural parts of the state, there is mutual aid. But we saw that here tonight, where responders from so many different communities were lending a hand. The only ambulance activity that we have seen recently, we actually saw someone who was on a gurney. They did appear to be alert. They were loaded into an ambulance.
Sorry,
and
everybody.
taken
I had
somewhere
to
else.
I
We
had to
know
handle
that there
something
are
real quick.
multiple hospitals that are involved here, so it could be a situation where that patient was in a condition where they're better suited for treatment at another location.
Terry, thank you. And we are getting first video here on your screen. This is from outside Schmenge's Pool Hall there at 551 Lincoln Street. Some of the first video we're seeing coming in the aftermath of what happened there. One of the 3 scenes where we are told that police responded to this evening. 2 of those were active locations earlier this evening. This is one of them, the pool hall, and also Spare Time Bowling Alley there in the city as well. But you just really get a sense of this massive police response happening there in Lewiston tonight.
Yeah, we're looking at Sabattis police. I saw Lewiston police. It looks like large police vehicles responding, not just patrol cars, really all hands on deck at this moment. And at that moment as well, one of the locations where this all started, there were 2 locations, that pool hall and the Spare Time. That is where we see this video, this shot of the suspect, the suspected shooter, one of the angles of the man that police are looking for tonight.
They sure are. And now we do want to turn to another one of our crews in Lewiston this evening, our Miles Hood. He is at Lewiston City Hall. And Miles, we do understand that is where information will be coming out when police and city officials have something to say. It still may not happen for a bit, but kind of bring us up to speed on the timing of this. What are you hearing, and when might we learn more about what is going on at this time?
Yeah, John and Megan, right now we're sitting in City Hall. That's exactly right. We're waiting for the update from Maine State Police. It'd be Shannon Moss, one of the media PIOs for them. That's going to be coming in and giving us a brief update sometime soon. We've been waiting here for about 30, 40 minutes now, but we've been told that an update is coming at some point in time. And because this is such a fluid and dynamic situation, and because things are happening at speeds that we can't really comprehend right now, and because the information is so fluid, we don't know when exactly that the update will happen. But what I can tell you is that as soon as that update does happen, we're going to bring it to you here, and we're going to continue to feed you information that we find from state police or any other officials in the City Hall area at this time. Send it back to y'all.
Yeah, and Miles, if you could, you walked us through a situation that had happened to you as you were trying to gather information when you first arrived to the scene. When people were told to shelter in place, some people didn't have anywhere to go. In fact, a Lewiston resident asked if you needed to come into their home. Talk about, personally, what that means to you as somebody on a scene that is perceived to be dangerous, and how this community has responded.
Yeah, absolutely. The strength and the hospitality of the people here in Lewiston to offer shelter to what is completely a random stranger, two random strangers, me and my camera person, with a giant camera and a mic, and to let us into their homes, even offer it is, it's speechless. It's leaving me, with profound emotion. And I think that, that's just speaks to the people that are here and the courage that they have, even that, when they're facing danger themselves, that they're willing to lend that hand out and help people.
Yeah, Miles, very good point. And we know that the second that we get any kind of information from the state police spokesperson, that you will bring it to us. And we do have a statement from the mayor of Lewiston. I would love to be able to bring that up on the screen, because that really kind of fits with what Miles was saying here. Lewiston currently under a shelter in place order. I'm reading it off the screen for you. And it is critical to prioritize your safety and the safety of those around you. I'm just going to kind of move to the end here, because this is really what hits home. Lewiston is heartbroken for our city and our people, I am heartbroken for our city and our people, rather. Lewiston is known for our strength and grit, and we will need both in the days to come. So that really kind of fits with what Miles was just saying.
And since this statement was distributed by Lewiston authorities, we've now learned it is a county-wide shelter in place. So Androscoggin County, all of Androscoggin County in that shelter in place order this evening. As we look outside Central Maine Medical Center, they're reacting to this mass casualty event. Again, more than 16 people dead, dozens injured there. The two hospitals responding, Central Maine Medical Center, St. Mary's, possibly other hospitals, as there are so many elements playing out tonight. Of course, they are caring for those who are injured. There's a chaplain who is helping those who may have lost somebody they love. While police are conducting this active search, other authorities issuing a shelter-in-place order now for all of Androscoggin County tonight.
This is very much a fluid situation. Things are still developing. Things are still happening. John, as you mentioned, all the different prongs of what is going on right now. We're currently getting statements from a variety of either elected officials or people in different positions. We got this from the FBI. The FBI Boston Division continues to coordinate with our local and federal law enforcement partners in Maine. We stand ready to assist with any available resources they need, including evidence response, investigative and tactical support, as well as victim assistance. We continue to urge the public to remain vigilant and report any and all suspicious activity and or individuals to law enforcement immediately, as the situation is still very fluid. This is exactly, those are the words that the FBI used. We have no further comment at this time, and we will refer you to Maine State Police. And, I just kind of wanted to add in there, boots on the ground, one of our photographers was told that everyone should act as though the shelter-in-place order is in effect until they hear otherwise.
A lot of statements coming in as this is now spreading to the nation's capital. A statement coming in from DHS and Secretary Mayorkas, who says that the secretary has been briefed on the mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine, and is continuing to monitor the situation. The entire Department of Homeland Security grieves with the loved ones of those killed and injured, and also stands with the brave law enforcement officers and first responders who are currently working to secure and safeguard the people of Lewiston. DHS is closely working with our federal, state, and local partners to support the Lewiston community. A federal official there weighing in tonight on what's happening. Department of Homeland Security having that to say tonight.
And this investigation is still ongoing, and we are still following all of the current developments. Insofar as we know, the suspect is still at large, considered armed and dangerous, with multiple different agencies responding to try and find the person who they say is responsible for this event. 16 people dead, dozens injured in shootings in Lewiston. So far, no arrests. We do have a picture. We have images of the person police say is responsible. They were taken at Spare Time, one of the locations of this incident, according to police. It appears that the suspect is holding an AR-15 style rifle, and we are being told that he had a white hatchback associated with him and this crime, and police currently are looking for the suspect by air, by land, and virtually all of the law enforcement activities are centered around finding this person currently.
A truly remarkable law enforcement scene as we look at this video with you this evening. The video of police lining both sides of the road in some areas there in Lewiston, something that is truly difficult to comprehend. The number of people involved, the number of victims, the number of police, law enforcement from, at this point, all over the country now coming to Maine to be part of this effort.
This is really a difficult reminder of the times that we live in. We were told by Terry that folks in the district, in the Topsom district, were just practicing today for a situation like this. And we were told that law enforcement, you hope that they never have to use the training for a mass shooting event such as this, but they do train for events like this. And, we think, we live in Maine, and it's so safe, but now it's in our backyard, and it really is a moment to kind of pause and reflect and support one another as we all kind of go through this very difficult time.
I think that support's so important, and also safety this evening, because as we know, this is still an active scene, an active search. As we've been reporting, the FBI, ATF, those are federal law enforcement officials who are now coming to Maine. There are helicopters up in the air right now. At last report, at last update, we're relaying and gathering information. Our newsroom right over here, trying to collect this information in real time for you and relate as quickly as we can. But at last check that we heard from police, this search is still active as the number of deaths here this evening has continued to tragically, sadly, jarringly just climb.
I just wanted to take a moment to think about these families, the families of the victims, the loved ones of the victims who are going through probably an extremely very difficult time right now. It is important that we stop and we think that they have families, they are not just numbers. And I just wanted to make sure that we take that moment to pause and reflect on what these families are going through tonight. Clearly a very difficult situation. And as police continue to look for a suspect, their focus is entirely different. And we just want everyone to know that that is not something lost on us. Mm-hmm. And we do see that, and we do think of you and the difficult time that you're going through.
And it's just remarkable how quickly something like this can happen Earlier tonight, we were in the middle of a debate that we had been talking about and planning, and we were doing that when we learned about this. Other people were at a bowling alley. They were going about their lives. They were at school events. Schools were told to stay where you are. An entire county in Maine in lockdown. We both worked in the state and lived here for a very long time, something that doesn't happen often. Hard to remember the last time, if and when, that may have happened, an entire county-wide shelter-in-place order. But that is what is happening tonight in Androscoggin County, in what was a relatively small area, just a few miles apart from the initial scenes here, there at Spare Time Bowling Alley and Schmeggy's Pool Hall. People who live in the Lewiston, Auburn area, very familiar with both of those locations, and that is where police say that this scene began tonight.
Presumably out, trying to have a good time, trying to have fun, and then this unfolds.
At a
and
bowling
we have
alley.
been covering this for the better part of 2.5 hours now, and we'll sort of walk you through where we started and what we know. There were, as John was mentioning, 2 scenes roughly 3 miles apart. There are a number of agencies currently helping in the response. We have since learned that 16 people are dead, dozens more are injured, and a number of hospitals are responding to the victims of this active shooter situation. So far, we know that the shelter-in-place order remains in effect until anyone hears otherwise, and multi-state effort is now in effect to try and find the suspect.
We have not heard otherwise.
Multi-state.
We've checked in multiple times with law enforcement just to again make sure we are relaying you the most up-to-date information. Ask if that shelter in place is still in effect, and not only did we learn that it has expanded countywide from Lewiston, which initially issued that shelter-in-place order, to now all of Androscoggin County. That means stay home, stay where you are, and keep the doors locked, because again, the image there on your screen, the most recent images coming in, are who police say they are looking for. A man they described as having a AR-15 style gun in a white hatchback. That image, surveillance image that we've been looking at as well through the evening. So again, really being careful, being deliberate to make sure the information that we are passing along is confirmed information. That vehicle there, confirmed. Lots of chatter around on social media this evening. But again,
what is that? A Ford Edge? What is that? A Ford Edge? Hold on, let me take a picture of this.
Stay where you are and keep the doors locked, because again, the image there on your screen, the most recent images coming in, are who police say they are looking for. A man they described as having a AR-15 style gun in a white hatchback. That image, surveillance image that we've been looking at as well through the evening. So again, really being careful, being deliberate to make sure the information that we are passing along is confirmed information. That vehicle there, confirmed. Lots of chatter around on social media this evening. But again, what we are reporting is what is confirmed.
What is that vehicle? A Ford Edge? Envoy? Well, if he had that kind of weapon, he probably shot it off pretty quick. To me, it sounds like he just went in there real quick and then hurried up and walked out and took off. I wonder if this is by an interstate. Let me look it up real quick. I wonder if this is by an interstate. That's why it's a multi-state search. Hold on.
Confirmed from our state and national police partners tonight.
I want to read you the statement from the FBI here that we had just.
Well, plus I'm going off the sunroof too. That's why I'm thinking it's a Ford Edge, but I could be wrong.
recently got roughly 15 minutes ago. The FBI Boston Division continues to coordinate with our local, state, and federal law enforcement partners in Maine, and we stand ready to assist with any available resources they need, including evidence response, investigative and tactical support, as well as victim response, victim assistance. It goes on to say we continue to urge the public to remain vigilant and report any and all suspicious activity and/or individuals to law enforcement immediately, as the situation is still very fluid. We have no further comment at this time, and we'll refer you to Maine State Police.
Again, this is a fluid situation if you are just joining us here now.
Sorry, I was handling some other stuff in the background. What? 4? So this is Lewiston. Yeah, look at that. Interstate right through it. I-95.
In Lewiston, closed tomorrow. So, the situation, continues. It is ongoing. But we want to let you know that if you have a student in one of those districts, the folks are telling everyone to stay home.
We heard from Governor Mills earlier this evening saying that she is aware of what's happening. She is briefed on the situation. We know President Biden also briefed on the situation. And just moments ago, Governor Chris Sununu in New Hampshire issuing a statement tonight saying that New Hampshire officials, they are in touch with counterparts here in Maine. They are willing to offer and provide medical and safety resources that are needed as they manage this horrific situation. Hearts and prayers with the people of Maine here tonight, our friends, our loved ones who are here in Maine and really now rippling throughout all of New England and across the country. This
dude's going to Canada, yo. This dude's going to Canada. Look. Lewiston. I bet you he's going up Greene, Monmouth, Winthrop, Reedfield, Mount Vernon, Vienna, Farmington, New Vineyard, New Portland, Kingfield, Carabasset Valley, Eustis, into Canada. Not going through Augusta. Right here. Winthrop going up 41. Watch. That path. So, let me see. If hopefully he gets caught. 202 to 41, 41 to 4 to 145 to 142 to 27. Right there. And that ain't what? Let me see. Let's just say this right here. Lewiston, Maine directions. Okay. Lewiston, Maine. Two hours and 32 minutes. Yeah, see right there. That's the route. There's the route. Oh, wait, see, I was saying Greene. There is a quicker way than 4. Just taking 4. New Portland, Kingfield, Carabasset, Eustis. I bet.
underway
out in this situation.
And we are seeing that support for law enforcement, not only emotional support, so important, but the resources. When it comes to the resources of Maine State Police, certainly there's only so many resources that are here in the state, and that's why they are turning to their federal partners at ATF, at the FBI, at New Hampshire State Police, setting up those barricades, because again, we do not know where that suspect is, where he may be headed tonight, whether he is still in Androscoggin County.
I'm thinking right here. I mean, I was saying Winthrop, Reading, Mount Vernon, but I didn't know about this one right here. I didn't see it. I didn't notice it. So 4. Lewiston's right there. You hit the 4. You're not going through any major cities at all. Like nothing. Look, you got Turner, which is what? How many people? It doesn't even tell you. It's got a salt. There's Turner, Maine, you guys. Nothing. What about North Turner? Not even a picture, yo. Long Pond? What about Livermore Falls? Ooh, maybe. What do we got? Livermore Falls. A bridge. West Farmington. Not even a picture. What about Fairbanks? Not even a picture. New Vineyard. Ooh, we have a picture of an overlook of something. Owls, something. New Portland? That's probably a really creepy bridge to drive over. Wire Bridge. There's the creepy bridge to drive over. Kingfield. Another bridge. A village. Carabasset. Not even a picture. Stratton. If it'll let me. A picture of the sky. Ooh, hey. See what I'm saying? Chain of ponds. A picture of a lake. Coburn Gore. Not even a picture. See what I'm saying? That's the route he's going. That's the route he's going.
Family. So again, outside of that hospital, it is extremely busy inside the hospital as well, clearly. But we'd seen people coming in and out of the emergency room, a number of vehicles going through to the emergency room and getting patients in and out. We also know that there was
He maybe could have switched his car, but I bet you he didn't switch his route. Come on, 2.5 hours to Canada.
Police and a large police presence outside of the hospital, not only guarding, the doors there, but also our reporters who are.
The thing is there's so much of the Canadian border that is not patrolled, especially on that side of the United States. That side of the United States, there's a decent amount of border that is not patrolled. You could literally, when the Pennsylvania manhunt was going on, I thought he was going to that side of Canada too, because the border's not patrolled like you guys think it is up there either.
On the field and learning more and trying to get new information. So, Terry reporting that information.
But I'll tell you right now, if Canada catches him, there's no way they're letting him stay there. There's no way.
To us just about 30 minutes ago.
And we certainly appreciate.
And unless he knows French, that side of Canada is heavily French speaking, enough to where the street signs are in French. So unless the dude knows French, he might run into an issue.
law enforcement, all that they're doing tonight to help us distribute this information. It is a partnership between the media and law enforcement in moments like this, and we are working together
he's
to
got a
be able to
AR-15,
distribute
right.
the most up-to-date information on this search. Again, this picture in the corner of your screen, the shooting suspect, they are looking for, if it is possible, to show some of those images that we have been receiving of that suspect that we got from Androscoggin County Sheriff. Those are the pictures that they have shared of the person who they are looking for. Again, a man. We don't have a name of the person, but we do know who he is according to the pictures, and they describe him as having an AR-15 style gun as he was making his way around Lewiston tonight.
And we want to go now to Rich Coco, who is a retired FBI agent. We have him available to talk to us a little bit, maybe shed some light about what is currently happening, with this investigation. Rich, this is one of those moments where things are developing so quickly. It's changing so rapidly. Can you give us any insight into how the FBI is really commandeering, trying to find this suspect at this moment?
Well, the situation is just awful, but you can expect every asset available from the federal, state, and local level will be present to help track this person down as quick as they can. They want to get all the information that they can. It's likely they've got a name, they've got a car, so they've got people doing tracking him down. But the important thing, get a perimeter, save lives, get the people that need to go to the hospital, and go full scope on getting this guy tracked down. We've seen those pictures clear as a bell. Somebody knows who this person is. More than that, the fact that they went to this bar, restaurant, and that bowling alley, and potentially a third site, that means these weren't just spur of the moment. He's been there before. He's scouted that place out before. So somebody either at the bowling alley, at the bar, they probably know who he is. So that information is coming into law enforcement, and they are just going to go hell-bent to get what they can right away. What I'd like to tell everybody is we hear all these numbers, we hear all this information. I promise you, I've been through a lot of these crises before. The first reports are always wrong. So we've got to take it take a moment to assess what information is coming in, waiting for that press conference where we'll get some official information from state police, from some of the federal authorities.
You better be in Canada, bro.
A lot going on right now.
And we appreciate your time here with us this evening. What information would you specifically flag as having a pause or a possible inaccuracy at this point? What have you often seen as being incorrect at this point in this kind of situation?
Well, the number one thing is almost every mass shooting that I worked on, there was reports of multiple shooters, and it always came down to one person. What you have is what they call circular reporting. Different people, reporting the same thing, and law enforcement at the moment might think it's more than one person.
You know what I mean?
Involved. Certainly, it could be, but in most cases, it turns out to be just one person that they end up looking for. And then, of course, the numbers of killed and wounded, those numbers will fluctuate over the hours. And, of course, taking care of the families of the victims, that's a priority for victim witness coordinators, for law enforcement. So there's just so many different things that need to be done. They have to set up a command post. They've got to start working together, harnessing all these different entities that are there, different radio channels, different intelligence coming in, sharing information, setting up tactical teams, setting up surveillance, perimeters.
What's up, Grizz?
They've got to work together, and they'll be in some room, whether it's a police station, a hospital, school. They'll set up this room, and they'll begin going through the information, assessing it as quick as possible. And every law enforcement agency practices on how to do that. Every law enforcement agency now practices on how to handle an active shooter, and they're going to take that training and put it to the test tonight.
Rich, we appreciate your time, and I don't want to take too much of it, but you did say something super interesting, which is this person has been there before, to that bowling alley, to, that pool hall.
I'm sure.
And they're trying to get the full scope of that. But knowing, that little tidbit that you think he's been there before, why do you think that? Why would you say that? Do you think he's a member of the community and specifically scoped these places out?
whether he's a member of the community or drove up from another state or anything. But the likelihood of him just coming to Lewiston, going to a specific bowling alley, a specific restaurant, just on a lark,
It's
not
for a
knowing
reason.
How busy they would be on a Wednesday night or what's going on, I say that's pretty slim. We'll find that out in the investigation. Could certainly be wrong, but it's likely that
Why
he
don't
has
you
some
talk about where the
familiarity,
dude's probably
with
going?
the area, with these locations, and that'll all be part of the investigation. They want to find who he is. They want to find his cell phone. They want to find his computer. Who's he talking to? Everybody has a digital footprint these days. That was there somebody that he telegraphed this to, that he was going to do this? Did somebody have information? A lot of times.
All right, I'm pausing this shit. I'm going to show you some real fucking news, okay? This is the fucking... Now it's all fucked up. Son of a bitch. Hold on. This is some bullshit. They should be talking about where this dude's probably going. What do you... All right, this is... Forget all that other shit. This is where the dude's probably going. All right? So if anybody's in this area, here's the Lewiston shootings right here. Okay? It just took the son of a bitch away.
As we were talking about, if somebody is at home watching this right now, the insight that you gave them into the investigation, but what would you tell, just the average person who's sitting there watching this all unfold right now? What's the best advice? How do you stay safe, and what do you do, and how do you deal with this?
Well, police have asked people to stay in their homes, so do exactly that. There's no reason to go out and be a tourist tonight. Stay in your home. Watch.
All right, there is 2 routes. I need to mute this shit. This is so annoying. There is 2 routes. You got one that's 2 hours and 40 minutes, one that's 2 hours and 30 minutes. Other than that, there's only one motherfucking route that goes to Canada, yo. Multi-state, my motherfucking ass. What you think the dude's 2.5 hours away from frickin' Canada, and you think this motherfucker went south? For real. Dude is 2.5 hours away, and you think this motherfucker went through New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut? Really? When you're talking about... Look at this. This border right here is one of the if you do your fucking homework, this border is one of the most insecure borders of fucking Canada. I'm sorry, this shit's pissing me off, because it's like, come on, report the real shit, yo. Instead, you should be... All these people are watching it. They're not watching CJ, they're watching fucking ABC. Tell the people in the communities of Farmington, Jay, Wilton, New Portland, Kingfield, Carabasset Valley, Eustis, frickin' chain of ponds. Tell them all to be on a frickin' lookout for something suspicious. I swear, you got 2 frickin' routes. One of them, the beginning, hey, guess what? It's your fucking flip of a coin. At least it's your flip of the coin at the beginning, not the frickin' end. You don't... This dude ain't going through Jackman. He ain't going through Skowhegan. He ain't going through none of that shit. He's trying to get the fuck out of there, and he's trying to get up to Canada ASAP. And I'm going to show you the frickin' shots, too. Here's the frickin' vehicle. Give you some real fucking news. What the hell is this shit, man? They're talking to... Whatever. Freaking vehicle, sunroof. Look at the hubcaps. It looks like a pearlescent car. The windows are not tinted. The windows are not tinted. Not tinted. You should be able to see person driving unless they're wearing a wig or something. You never know. But it would look kind of weird, a dude in a wig that's got a beard. This is the dude. AR-15. I doubt he shaved his beard. I doubt he shaved his head. He just probably went and did what he was doing, got in the fucking car, and started booking ass north. Again. Turner, Leeds, Wayne, Livermore Falls, Wilton, Farmington, New Vineyard, New Portland, Kingfield, Carabasset Valley, Eustis, Chain of Ponds. He is not going to he's not going south. My lord, I swear. What the hell is this shit coming to these days?
This suspect.
Namely, that vehicle, which is presumably a big piece of this search, and that's why we're showing this picture and leaving it up on the screen. It is a white hatchback vehicle. It had a black bumper, according to authorities. And again, another look at the scene here as we transition back and forth between.
Say no tinted windows. You know how many people have tinted windows nowadays, sir? Sunroof and no tinted windows.
Showing you images coming in from the scene and also pictures of the vehicle and suspect that police are sharing.
I want to transition to this because this just came in just minutes ago from the White House. The president spoke by phone individually to Governor Mills, Senator Angus King, as we reported, and Susan Collins and Congressman Jared Golden about the shooting in Lewiston, and offered full federal support in the wake.
Really? Then how come you didn't offer that to the people in East Palestine when they had that chemical disaster that happened to them in the middle of the fucking...
of this horrific attack. So that's officially from the White House this evening, coming in at 10:43 tonight.
I ain't trying
and
to
as
get
we continue
political
our coverage here, now approaching the 11 o'clock hour, Central Maine Medical Center very busy as well, responding to this event with the medical professionals. So grateful for their work. Also, law enforcement on the ground, and our Terry Stackhouse, who's doing a remarkable job this evening, bringing us updates from outside the hospital. And Terry, we saw some ambulances arriving from Topsom and other locations since we last spoke. Set the scene on what you're seeing.
Listen.
John, right now it's calm, much calmer than it
At
was
least
hours
20.
ago when we saw well over a dozen ambulances from numerous different communities that were arriving at the front entrance of the hospital here at Central Maine Medical Center. Around the front of the hospital, around the perimeter, we've counted at least 7 officers from different agencies or security guards that are armed. They're here providing that extra sense of security. And we first got here a few hours ago now, just on the sidewalk right here. And I'm going to show you just to give you a sense of what the scene looked like when we first got here. Numerous medical professionals, some of them literally adjusting their scrubs, putting them on as they were running across the sidewalk here and then going into the front entrance. Now we've seen some of those medical professionals come out of the hospital, and then they've had officers walk them to their vehicles. I can't imagine the level of stress, sadness, grief that they've experienced during their shift tonight. In addition to the law enforcement presence that's outside the hospital, we can see inside the hospital just a bit. If we can zoom our camera in the front entrance, we have seen at times doctors, nurses coming out and then speaking to officers. There's some movement in the hall.
They're in a fucking hospital, bro.
And there's an additional law enforcement presence right there, just
I
on,
would hope so.
Just to the right of the front entrance of the hospital. What is no
I would
longer
hope
here at
so.
the scene is that we can see is the loved ones of people who were injured or killed and taken to the hospital here. They were gathered on the far right entrance, couple dozen family members. We spoke to parents. We spoke to the brother-in-law of a man who his relatives said that he had been shot. None of them knew the condition of their loved ones. They were trying to figure that out. And there were some truly chaotic moments where staff members of the hospital came out and they were taking names and writing them down to try to share this information with them on the condition. Give you a look here. We have another helicopter. Not sure which agency this is from, but this is not the first time that we have seen a helicopter flying over Central Maine Medical Center tonight. We've seen helicopters at the various scenes here in Central Maine. And as we've been telling you throughout our coverage this evening, numerous law enforcement agencies, even far outside Maine, are now involved in this. And so many communities are truly on edge. The number of school districts that are canceling classes for tomorrow, we continue to learn more and more. Gray, New Gloucester just canceling, Brunswick, Topsom, Bodenham all canceling. Of course, Lewiston will not have classes tomorrow.
Who do you
I would
think's
imagine
gonna have
that
school,
parents
man?
having
Why are-
difficult conversations with their children tonight about what's going on in their community as we wait to learn more about what's going to happen this evening.
Those are going to be some very difficult conversations. And of course, that's something that we probably should touch on about how we talk to our kids and how we talk to our loved ones and young ones about the situation that's unfolding. Maybe some of those.
You know, I always heard this as a kid. No shit, Sherlock, man. Come on, dude. No shit.
And the like. But, you know,
No
Terry,
shit,
really painting the
Sherlock.
scene outside of the hospital for us tonight.
There will be a lot to
That's
process
so
in the days and weeks and months and years ahead. We have to imagine as this plays out tonight. But right now, the focus really from law enforcement is on safety, because as we heard the retired FBI agent, Rich, who we talked to, say that it is unusual that this has gone on as long as it has at this point with the search for the suspect.
2.5
Last we heard
hours.
anyway from law enforcement. The
3
search
hours
for
now?
that suspect is still underway.
3 hours?
Law enforcement out there this evening
He could be in
looking
fucking
for him.
Canada.
Terry was outside Central Maine Medical Center, just getting a statement here from Maine Medical Center in Portland saying that that hospital has alerted on-call staff. They created critical care and operating room capacity. This is in anticipation of potential patient transports coming from the Lewiston shooting this evening. At this time, they can confirm at least one patient will be transported.
And
Okay, is this like a small local news station or something? It's got to be. Look, 2 hours and it's got to be. Let me see. It's got to be. Two hours and 40 minutes. 2 hours and 40 minutes. We've been watching this. Well, not us, but it's been going on for 3 hours pretty much. 3 hours. It takes 2 hours and 40 minutes. This is why I'm upset, because it's like, why are you talking about the... Of course, people in the hospital are talking to each other. Yeah, no shit. They should. Of course, nurses and doctors or whoever's out there are trying to write down as much information as they can. I would fucking hope so. What is... it better not be a fumbaloo. He could be in freaking Canada already.
Regarding the mass shooting at Schmenge's Bar and Spare Time Recreation this evening. So a person of interest is we cannot make the connection, essentially, but that is what law enforcement officials are saying in response to Robert Card.
So here's the image from Lewiston police, and
You can't-
this is another image that is different
Oh
from
my
the
gosh.
other pictures that
I
we
hope
had seen of the person they were looking for earlier with the AR-15 style rifle. Again, unclear if it's the same person. It very well could be, but that is not a connection that police have made at this point, at least as far as
Get his fucking
what
face
we're
off there.
seeing.
You don't know if that's
from
him. You
our
just
law
said that,
enforcement
dude.
partners.
And therefore,
anybody else involved, as you heard from that retired FBI agent.
What the fuck? What if that's not the fucking dude? Dude, you could be creating open fucking season on this guy. Breaking news, fucking Channel 8 WMTW? What the fuck? You don't even know if it's confirmed or not? What the fuck is this? You do. I'm going to cover this screen. We're going to hear them say this. I want everybody to freaking hear this. Hold on. Coffee cup is back, yo. Coffee cup is back. Hold on a minute. You gotta be. This is 2023, y'all. This is 2023. What? What?
Agent, rare for there to be more than one person involved in a mass shooting, but at this point there's been no connection made between this person and the person who they're looking for, or has there been at this point?
it is important to note and be accurate
Listen.
in our reporting that it says as a person.
No, CJ's got to be fucking accurate in the reporting because you won't. Really?
Their cell phone and any other information that might lead law enforcement to tracking him down.
Now, what's unclear is if this is the same person that police are looking for. The image on your screen, we haven't heard of anybody else involved, as you heard from that retired FBI agent. Rare for there to be more than one person involved in a mass shooting, but at this point, there's been no connection made between this person and the person who.
But you're
who they're
gonna put
looking
his
for,
fucking
or has
picture
there
and
been at
his
this
name
point?
up
It is
there.
important to note and be accurate in our reporting that it says as a person of interest regarding the mass shooting at Schmenge's Bar and Spare Time Recreation this evening. So a person of interest is we cannot make the connection, essentially, but that is what law enforcement officials are saying in response to Robert Card.
So here's the image from Lewiston police, and this is another image that is different from the other pictures that we have seen of the person they were looking
because
for
you're
earlier
gonna
with
use
the
this
AR-15
frickin'
style
picture
rifle again. Unclear if it's the same person. It very well could be, but that is not a connection that police have made at this point.
Then
at
why
least as
are
far
you
as,
reporting it?
What we're
Oh my
seeing
gosh.
from our law
I
enforcement
hope.
partners.
And therefore, we cannot make that conclusion, but we can say that law enforcement is trying to locate this person as a person of interest regarding the events that transpired tonight. We learned just a little while ago that the death toll had jumped from 16 to 20. Dozens
They still
is
have
what
the
we're reporting.
fucking
Dozens
picture
still
up.
injured at this moment. We know that Maine Medical Center, Central Maine Medical Center, and St. Mary's are all responding to this crisis.
And Maine Medical Center, as we were saying here in Portland, preparing for some possible arrivals.
They still
putting
have
their
his fucking
on-call
picture and his
staff
name
on
up there.
notice. Also saying that their operations center, their emergency room, also on alert for possible more transfers, as we are learning about the number of people injured this evening there in Lewiston.
And you have to believe that time is really running out, or that time, that it's only a matter of time, I should say.
I didn't hear them say that the FBI matched it, and this is live. I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead.
Law enforcement vehicles heading this way, full sirens, and this is what we've come to
There's
find.
no
So again,
confirmation
that
yet
helicopter
so
up in the
far.
air here in Lisbon, circling the area. It has been for the better part of
That
15
is so
minutes or
dangerous.
so long as we've been here. And again, it's in the area of Springworks Farm here in Lisbon. It's circling the area. Lots of lights, lots of activity from the police here. And we're going to give you another look. That helicopter circling back around here.
That is
and it's
so
about to go over our
dangerous.
heads. Photojournalist Kevin Fowler giving you a live look at that helicopter in the air here, circling, lights beaming down, lots of activity. This is kind of what we're looking at. Again, we know that the police are searching for a person of interest at this point. You guys have stated that for a little while now. There's a clear look at the helicopter circling the area. And again, we're in Lisbon on Route 196. Lots of police activity, lots of police presence, a stoppage of traffic both ways here on 196, and that helicopter in the air, guys.
Connor, if you could give us a little bit of perspective so we can see the lights behind you. What's the distance between you and those
All right, everybody, this is where they're searching. 3D view? I already upgraded to 3D view. What are you talking about? Okay, so they're basic. This is like the PA manhunt, yo. ABC channel in Maine. Look at this. There's... Okay, maybe he drove back home. I don't know, right? So they first started off in Lewiston. They came from where? Oh, shit. That means they're going to have to refuel here in a little bit. Because that is probably about a half an hour, 40-minute trip from helicopter from there back to Concord. And they're probably going to be refueling in about 20 to 35 minutes, I'm just guessing. And there's only one frickin' helicopter up there. Is it a news helicopter? No, it's a police helicopter. It looks like a bunch of figure eights, no? Here, let me go full screen for you guys. Sorry about that. And I'll just block this thing. I don't think they know. CNN, yeah, I know. Please, if there's like a confirmation of it, please send it to me so I can play it, okay? Because I definitely don't want to put some dude's name and picture out there and all of a sudden it's open season on dude, you know? Hold on. Let me see if this... No, that's just a short clip.
an FBI former retired agent telling us it is likely that this person had been there before and had seen how many people would be in that area. I'm going to read you something that we're just learning. My executive producer cueing us in on this. He says police in Maine have identified the suspected shooter and know who they are looking for. This is according to multiple law enforcement agencies. This is very important here. The sources said the suspect has a history of military service and is a firearms instructor. He also has a mental health history, including a 2-week stay this past summer at a mental health facility after he reported hearing voices and made threats to shoot up a National Guard facility in Saco. Authorities have now traced the suspect's white Subaru to a location in Lisbon, Maine. And of course, we can't be sure, but one can make a connection to where Connor is seeing that police activity in Lisbon, that it may be in that area at some vicinity there.
Lisbon in the area where Connor is,
Yes.
and saw the police helicopter overhead with the light shining down, looking for presumably the person responsible, who they have now identified, as you outlined, learning more about that. Also, the FBI releasing more information tonight for us as well, that they are coordinating with local and state and federal law enforcement partners. They are working on this. Again, really important here tonight. They're continuing to urge the public to remain vigilant and report any and all suspicious activity or individuals to law enforcement immediately. That right there coming directly from the FBI, as the situation is still very fluid. Again, just moments ago, they have no further comment. They're sending us back to Maine State Police. But again, they are confirming that they are still looking for the suspect. And as we've been saying, a rare situation for after a mass shooting for the search to continue for hours and hours, as we've been seeing here this evening.
But our FBI source did mention that since they had so much information on the suspect, it was really only a matter of time before they circled in.
All right. Here's the link to this. Sorry, I can't see your chat right now. Where's the name? Where's the name? Where's the name? I don't see the name right now. I don't see the name. Yeah, you've ID'd him. What's the name? Oh my gosh. No. This is not. No. This is not good. This is not good. It better be this dude. Do you know what I'm saying? When did this come out? At 9:59. So this was 15 minutes ago. This was off of Twitter. Is there something? Is there something where it's got somebody confirming the name? I do not want to have some dude be open season if he is not the person. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Main information right here. Okay, here we go. Of course, it's small as hell. Main Information and Analysis Center, Robert Card. Okay, it is. 941 Meadow Road. I think that's where the flight radar is going as well. Because I saw Meadow Road somewhere. Where was it? Why are they so focused right there? Good night. Maybe.
Those things where our FBI source saying, it doesn't often happen where it takes a prolonged period of time, but with all of these different pieces, it seems to be at this moment at least hunkering down a little bit.
And the image up there in the corner of your screen, the right top corner of the screen, the person of interest as identified by police, as we're showing you here, video from all over Androscoggin County, video of the scene to the hospital. And it's just really remarkable. Our crews who are out in the field tonight describing what they're seeing, medical professionals running in to work, sprinting, the word used, in order to try to save lives tonight as there are more victims that are arriving. It was much busier earlier with those ambulances arriving at Central Maine Medical Center, but ambulances still coming to the hospital tonight. Maine Medical Center here in Portland also preparing for the arrival possibly of some patients to be transferred for operations here in the city of Portland.
Yeah, one of the really disheartening pieces of information that we learned in these mass shooting events from our FBI source is that oftentimes in these mass shooting events, certain details only kind of come to light later on, and oftentimes information is wrong. And one of the things that he had mentioned was that the death toll often changes and rises, and that's exactly kind of what we have been seeing. But again, a very fluid situation that is not yet over, and we are going on the better part of 4 hours now, where since the start of this event.
And the initial locations, as we've been saying, a bowling alley on Mollison Way, a bar on Lincoln Street, and the FBI agent that we were talking with earlier saying just really how unusual it would be for these locations to be randomly targeted. And so we're just asking and passing along from police to take a look at this person of interest that they have identified. And if you do know and you can help solve this case and try to prevent the loss of more lives, do call police if you recognize this person.
We are just getting some information here. I think, John, you mentioned Maine Medical Center and their trauma center is on alert and has created critical care and operating room capacity in anticipation of potential patient transports coming from the Lewiston shooting. We know Maine Medical Center received at least one patient transported from Central Maine Medical Center in Lewiston. So, all hands on deck here in terms of not only law enforcement presence, but medical professionals as well.
And so we'll walk you through kind of the timeline of this night. Law enforcement piecing it together. We're piecing it together as well. But we do know that this evening around 7 o'clock on Mollison Way, police were called to an active shooter at spare time. That was when those calls first started coming in. Then, as we're piecing it together, we learned that things progressed to another location. As we look at that, again, now here, the suspect, Robert Card, getting these images as we move to Mollison Way, another location there where we're told that he was and moved through. Then to Lincoln Street, around 8 o'clock, the shooting reported at a bar and grill just about 4 miles away on Lincoln Street there in the city of Lewiston.
So we were following sort of the developments of this story. After that, we did see the picture released from the Androscoggin County Sheriff's Office talking about the white hatchback with a possible black bumper. We now know is a white Subaru. We now know who it is traced to, but that was sort of the next piece of the puzzle. And as we move through them, we get sort of a better idea of who police say did this. We would see the suspect, a picture of the suspect released by the Androscoggin County Sheriff's Office. And now what you're looking at here is some video that was shot earlier of one of the locations where that shooting took place. And in the top part of your screen, that is the suspect, Robert Card. His car has been traced back to Lewiston. We know that he is a firearms instructor. He does have military training. This is according to ABC News. He's also had he had a stay at a mental health facility as well, and because he had made some threats to a Coast Guard station, I believe it was in Saco, or a National Guard station. We're learning more about the suspect kind of as this moves on. But we've been at this since about 7:15 tonight, and things are just starting to take shape, really.
Law enforcement sources also adding that person of interest has a history of military service, a firearms instructor as well. The image there on the corner of your screen, the person who they're looking for as a person of interest. That is what law enforcement have described as they're looking for. And his vehicle, that white Subaru that we've been showing you, that police were looking for, again, found in Lisbon this evening, the area where we have also seen police helicopters searching that area.
Yeah, we have seen the helicopters. We've seen police, law enforcement camping out on either side. So we kind of asked Connor to sort of paint the picture for us. I believe it was 196 in Lisbon where he is set up, and kind of in front of him and in back of him. He was sort of in the middle of a law enforcement presence there with the helicopters going on above his head, presumably closing in on the home where that car was registered to.
And this is the area in Lisbon, I believe, that we're looking at right now, those live pictures where Connor is. And he has been trying to be safe, but also gather information about what is happening. And he was telling us that he was hearing that helicopter circling around over him. We've also seen emails from witnesses in that area who are reporting similar information, hearing law enforcement choppers up there in the sky this evening in that area in Lisbon, where they also found the person of interest, white Subaru, there in Lisbon tonight.
Really?
Again, we go back to this.
The
Maine
motherfucker
Medical
didn't go to
Center in
Canada?
Portland is on alert right now and
Why
has
is
received
multi-state?
at least one patient transported from Central Maine Medical Center in Lewiston. We know St. Mary's has people and medical professionals on staff and treating some of the victims as well. Terry Stackhouse had been camped out outside of Central Maine Medical Center, where he saw a number of law enforcement present, a large law enforcement presence outside of there, including, also family members, loved ones of potential victims, trying to figure out what had happened to their loved ones. We're going to go back out live now to Terry Stackhouse, who we were just talking about. And Terry, any developments? What are you seeing where you are?
Megan, it's a much calmer scene now, if you could even describe it as that, at least outside of the hospital. At the front entrance and also the side, we are seeing a number of armed officers, also some security guards providing that extra sense of security. We've also seen in the last hour some law enforcement vehicles speeding past the front of the hospital. But I want to take you back to when we first arrived here. We got here maybe around 7 o'clock or so, sometime between that 7 and 8 o'clock hour. And as we were parking, there's a parking lot which is just on the opposite side of this camera. We saw multiple medical professionals literally sprinting across the sidewalk and going into the front entrance. At that front entrance, there was also a staging area of sorts where some of these doctors and nurses were prepared to take these patients into their care, bring them into the hospital. Number of gurneys were set up outside. At this moment, though, we are not seeing any of the loved ones who we had spoken to earlier, of those who were either killed or injured or in the care of the hospital. Earlier this evening, they were gathered the entrance just to my left, your right. There were at least a dozen of these relatives who were waiting for word on the condition of their loved ones. They were keeping their composure, but clearly anxious, trying to get an update. And we watched as medical
up,
staff from
Kylie?
the hospital was coming outside and taking the names of the relatives that were arriving there, comparing that with the names on file for the individuals who were receiving treatment at the hospital. That same time, a chaplain for the facility came out and offered to lead in prayer. What you're hearing right now.
Okay. Yeah, the news guy, right, Linda? All right. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be up, but if I do hear an update, I will post it in the community tab to let you guys know if I do hear of one. Man, you just hope that they find him, you know. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, we'll be doing an extended show of the court hearing, live updates, fresh notes, old notes, and more. So if you'd like to, go ahead and click that link and hit the notification. Come hang out with us tomorrow. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. We'll be starting a little later than usual, but we'll be going into the late afternoon, early evening, and also because we're going to be doing an extended show tomorrow, covering the court hearing and different old notes, fresh notes, we are going to have a game night tomorrow night. So I can't wait to have a game night with you guys. We need one. Thank you, everybody, for oh, man. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for your company, your conversation, and most importantly, your respect, the peace, positive, progressive atmosphere, and your contribution to it. It means everything to us and the community, really, as a collective. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you, and we will see you tomorrow.